Well, the Yankees have been having a ball in the first two games of this three-game series here in St. Petersburg. They have won the first two. As today, Pix 11 presents New York Yankees baseball. It'll be the Yankees against the Tampa Bay Rays in the third game of a three-game series from Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Hi, everybody. Ken Singleton along with John Flaherty. Yes, the Yankees have played very well in the first two games. They won a close one Friday night by a score of 5-4, and last night 9-0. Some good pitching and some great hitting.
Yeah, it really all starts with the pitching, Kenny. Tanaka was fabulous last night. A lot of question marks about is he 100% healthy. He looked healthy last night. 8 strikeouts, 7 shutout innings, only 2 hits. The fastball had the velocity and the location. But as good as the pitching was, you need some big hits to try to win a ball game here last night, and Brian McCann came up with one. This is going to end up being a triple off the right field wall. He chugs into third base, couple RBIs. The Yankees have a lead. And then in the 7th inning, Chris Young is going to come up and get a hanging slider. This is a grand slam. That's when the Yankees broke it open. Great pitching and timely hitting.
Well, they go for the sweep this afternoon, and on the mound for the Yankees is going to be Michael Pineda. He's in there against a rookie, Matt Andrews, making his first ever start at Tropicana Field. Let's take a look at Pineda's last start. That was in Baltimore.
Well, he picked up a win in this ball game, but he wasn't really on top of his game. He did strike out 9 batters. He didn't walk anybody. Big swing of the night was from Adam Jones. In this ball game, he gave up 5 earned runs, and this was a home run from Jones. You would say that Pineda wasn't sharp. Bottom line is he picked up a win. He's looking for 2 in a row, and the Yankees are looking for a sweep.
When we come back here on Pix 11, Meredith Marakovitz will catch up and let you know what happened with Masahiro Tanaka in last night's game.
I'm Meredith Marakovitz coming to you from Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Yankees will try to make it 3 in a row against the Rays this afternoon, and they'll hand the ball to Michael Pineda to try to do so. Meanwhile, last night, Masahiro Tanaka was simply magnificent on the mound. He tossed 7 scoreless innings, did not walk a batter in the process, and struck out 8. After the game, manager Joe Girardi, as well as his teammates, were impressed.
I thought he had all his pitches tonight, which I think was the big difference. He located his fastball, he elevated it as well, he used his curveball and his slider and his split really effectively, and that's the difference. When you have all your weapons, you're usually going to go deeper in the game.
He did whatever he wanted tonight with the baseball. He sink and cut. He put his curveball in there for a strike whenever he wanted to, and it was nice to see that.
Brian McCann is not in this afternoon's lineup. Just a day off after a night game. Instead, it'll be John Ryan Murphy behind the plate catching Michael Pineda. Plenty more to come here on Picks 11. John Flaherty and Ken Singleton coming up with lineups first pitch baseball after the break.
Your comfort zone with the most advanced Elantra yet. Visit your Hyundai dealer today. By Verizon Fios, the fastest, most reliable internet. By your Tri-State BMW centers. By McDonald's. Stop by for the new 100% sirloin third-pound burgers, starting at $4.99. Price and participation may vary. By Acela. Take off. And by the Honda Dream Garage Sales Event, now at your Honda dealer. Beautiful day here in Florida. As you can see, fans still making their way inside of Tropicana Field, where the Yankees will be taking on the Rays in the final game of this three-game series in just a few moments. Let's check out the Yankees starting lineup, which is brought to you by Land Rover, above and beyond. Jacoby Ellsbury will lead it off at center field. Brett Gardner will be in left. Alex Rodriguez will be the designated hitter, and batting cleanup will be Mark Teixeira at first base. Chase Headley's at third. Stephen Drew will be at second. Garrett Jones gets the start in right field. John Ryan Murphy is doing the catching, and batting ninth and playing shortstop, Didi Gregorius.
Well, the Yankees are going to get a look at a rookie starting pitcher for the Rays, Matt Andrews, making his warm-up pitches. We'll look at his numbers on the young season. 2-1. This is going to be his, 2 games, 1 start. It'll be his second start at 3.86 ERA. We'll look at our pitcher scouting report, making his Tropicana Field debut this afternoon. And when you talk about his stuff, it's pretty much sinker, cutter. He'll throw a slider, not overpowering, relies on movement, and he's a big-time strike thrower. His last start only threw strikes in 54.2%. That's the lowest of his career. Not overpowering, throws a lot of strikes.
Well, Andrews will be facing the Yankees, who have won the first 2 games of the series, 5-4 and then 9-0 last night, playing underneath the opaque roof here at Tropicana Field. Might be some problems for the outfielders and the infielders on pop-ups and fly balls. Bright sunshine outside, and Jacoby Ellsbury is going to lead it off for the Yankees at 273, looking for his first homer and first RBI this season. He did have 2 hits last night and has hit in 8 of his last 9 games. So we're about ready to go as Andrews is going to deliver the first pitch of the game, and it is in there for a called strike. Andrews, a native of California, went to UC Riverside and was a third-round pick of the Padres in 2011. Next pitch is downstairs, ball and a strike on Ellsbury.
You see from the radar gun, has not hit 90 miles an hour. It's all about location and movement. Does have a good slider.
Ball is lined past Beckham and into right field for a base hit. So Ellsbury is aboard. Time to check out the Rays defense, brought to you by McDonald's. In the outfield from left to right, it's going to be Geyer, Jennings, and Souza Jr. In the infield, Longoria, Cabrera, Beckham, Dykstra, and Rivera doing the catching for Andrews. So Ellsbury is now hitting 9 of his last 10 games. And here's Brett Gardner, who started last night's ball game back in the lineup. He'd been a pinch runner on Friday night and scored the winning run after stealing a base. But he seems to be picking up the pace, Flash. He had a couple of steals in last night's game. So he's stolen 3 bases in this series. Ellsbury trying to hustle back and makes it back. He was on his way to second, almost got picked off.
That's a balk.
And he's going to be awarded second base. Now here comes Kevin Cash, the manager. Did you see anything, Flash? I thought he flinched a little bit at the beginning.
He's got kind of an abbreviated delivery where he rocks on his back leg and then he continues to go back a little bit further. That's what the umpires are calling a balk. There's that little rock back just a little bit further. Jacoby Ellsbury, a little bit fooled, was able to get back. And Kevin Cash, the manager, out to argue.
Now, which one of the umpires called it? We had a balk in last night's game.
Well, we had balk and Bob Davidson. There he is.
Yeah.
He called a balk in last night's game. Nothing new for him. Jerry Lane, the second base umpire, was also all over it. Or actually, he's the first base umpire today.
You know, if Andrews had stopped with the hands and then moved the foot back, that's a balk. So it wasn't a complete move where he just didn't set his hands yet and then moved the foot back. So Kevin Cash is satisfied, the first year manager of these Rays. And he's back in the dugout, and Jacoby Ellsbury is at second base.
And the Yankees, after scoring 9 runs in last night's ball game, off to a good start. Base hit, a balk, runner in scoring position. Brett Gardner healthy again. Couple of hits last night. Chance to put the Yankees up on top early here.
Yeah, last night it was a 7-run 7th inning that did the major damage for the Yankees as they won 9-0. Let's see what Gardner does here. And it looks like he's going to swing and miss, trying to pull the ball, and it's strike 1.
You see Brett a little bit confused at the movement right there. 89 had some good sink down and away, and you're right, Kenny, trying to pull the ball, move Ellsbury to third base, some situational hitting.
Nice return to the lineup for Gardner last night. A couple of stolen bases, a couple of hits. This time he lays down a bunt. It's a good one. The pressure is on the third baseman. Longoria throws the first in time for the out as Ellsbury moves over to third. So give Gardner a sacrifice.
Well, in spring training, this is what everybody was talking about. Ellsbury and Gardner at the top of the lineup. The speed, putting pressure on a defense. A great bunt, and even better play by Longoria at third. It's a do-or-die play, barehanded, and he's able to make the play.
Gardner led the league in sacrifice bunts a year ago. Here's Alex Rodriguez. Was 0 for 3 last night, but they're still talking about Friday night. Couple of home runs, 4 runs batted in, including a 471-foot blast to left center field. The Rays keep the infield back. First pitch is low and away, ball 1. Today's Power Report is furnished by Bob's. Everything's better with a Bob Opedic. Find out what at mybobs.com. And there they are. The all-time home run leaders. Alex Rodriguez just a couple behind Willie Mays. That pitch is low for a ball. Home plate umpire is David Rackley. Jerry Lane's at first, Hunter Wendelstedt at second, and Bob Davidson around at third. The infield is shifted to the left. 2 balls and no strikes on Alex Rodriguez, and he swings and misses strike 1.
Well, Joe Girardi made the adjustment last night, moving Alex to the number 3 spot in the lineup. Back in there this afternoon, and you can see why. Really, he's been the Yankees' most productive hitter.
Among the league leaders in home runs and runs batted in and on-base percentage. Outfield is deep and straight away. Strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
All right, Alex has a look at him now. Has seen 4 pitches. Got to get the job done here. Just try to put this ball in play. We saw the Rays and how they're shifting defensively. Looking right back up the middle. Ground ball or fly ball will get the job done.
Runner third, 1 out. Blown away, and the count is now full, 3-2.
The one thing we noticed Friday night, Kenny, he's so quiet recognizing pitches. Even the takes have been good. He flinched a little bit on that take. Didn't look as comfortable as he did Friday night. We'll see if he can get the job done.
You know, part of being a good hitter is staying calm.
Yeah.
And not letting the moment get too big. This is an RBI situation early in the ball game. The 3-2 pitch, and it's ball 4. Alex draws his 8th walk of the season. And it's runners at first and third with 1 out.
It seems like we keep repeating ourselves, but another good at bat from Alex Rodriguez.
Now the torch is passed to Mark Teixeira with a runner in scoring position. 3 for 17 on the trip, but the hits have gone for extra bases. 2 doubles and a home run. The shift moves over to the right side of the infield. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Teixeira drove in a run last night's ball game with a sacrifice fly.
You can see the shift. Longoria really moving over toward the shortstop position. Ellsbury can be able to get a great jump off of third. He'll score anyway on any ground ball.
Pitch is hit in the air to right field. Souza Jr. is there. He'll make the catch. That's plenty deep enough for Ellsbury to score as Alex Rodriguez has to scamper back into first base as the Yankees take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Tony Pena giving it to Alex Rodriguez a little bit. Got excited. That might have been an extra base hit. Was able to get back to first. Productive bat from Mark Teixeira. Hits this ball hard to right field. Sacrifice fly. The Yankees on the board. Souza Jr. no play at home. He tries to get on the backside of Alex Rodriguez and can't get it done. Good at bat from Mark Teixeira.
So Alex almost 2/3 of the way to second base. Now has to hustle back. And you saw Ellsbury pick up the speed too. He wanted to score before if that third out was made at first base. Headley will foul a pitch off, strike 1.
The Yankees aggressive early in the counts, facing a rookie pitcher that they haven't seen before. Thought they might take a few more pitches early. Get a look at the movement from Andries. Going up there swinging.
The shift remains in vogue with Headley at the plate. Beckham now in short right field, and there's a little looper, and it's going to go over the Yankee dugout now to play. No balls and 2 strikes on Headley. Headley 3 for 15 on this road trip. And has seen his average dip to 214, but this time of year, a couple of good days in a row, 2-3 hits, multiple hit games, all of a sudden you're back in business and you look a lot more respectable in the batting average column. The 0-2 pitch is lined down the left field line into the Yankee bullpen and foul. So the Yankees jump out in front 1-0. And there is a satisfied customer. He'll be back. That ball might sit on the mantle for years. Swing it, a miss, strike 3. First strikeout for Andries, but the Yankees break out in front here in the first inning. Sacrifice fly by Mark Teixeira makes it 1-0 Yankees. as we head to the bottom of the first inning. And the Tampa Bay Rays starting lineup is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. At the very top for the Rays, it's the veteran, David DeJesus. He'll be the designated hitter. Steven Souza Jr. is in right field. Asdrubal Cabrera will be at short. Batting cleanup, Evan Longoria, the third baseman. Desmond Jennings will be in center. Alan Dykstra is at first base. Brandon Guyer's in left field. Tim Beckett will be at second, and batting ninth and doing the catching is Rene Rivera.
Michael Pineda taking his warm-up pitches, getting ready for this afternoon's starts. We'll take a look at his numbers on the young season. It'll be his third start, 1-0, 5.11 ERA. And we'll look at Michael Pineda's keys to the game, which are brought to you by Hyundai. Got his first win last time out, 9 strikeouts. Did give up 5 earned runs in that game. And if you keep doing what he's doing with the strikeout to walk ratio, 15-1, you're going to be very successful. Another key to the game. Keep dominating Evan Longoria. Longoria 0 for 11 against Michael Pineda, the longest streak that he hasn't had a hit against any pitcher.
And it's also the longest streak for Pineda of shutting down any hitter. One of the hot hitters in the Rays lineup is David DeJesus. Brooklyn born, went to Rutgers for 3 years. He's hitting at .409. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. It's interesting that DeJesus was on the trading block just about all winter long, and now he's coming out of the box flying. On base percentage of .458. The 1-0 pitch, and that is poured in there for a strike.
34 years old and the veteran of this club. Oldest member of the team.
10-year vet. And those of us who play pro ball, they know what the 10-year vet means. You're now vested in the pension.
100%.
100%. 2 balls and a strike on David DeJesus. Now Pineda, his flash is set, has had excellent control. Since he has joined the Yankees, 15 starts, he's walked only 8 batters. The 3-1 pitch is line, and it's going to twist foul and get into the seats. And that is somewhat noteworthy because only one other pitcher walked fewer batters in his first 15 starts with the Yankees. That was John Lieber, who walked 7 batters.
What a pleasure he was to catch.
Just a control artist.
And worked quickly through strikes. Here it is. You're either going to get me or I'm going to get you, but it's going to be over quickly.
As Pineda went to the windup, DeJesus stepped down. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and it's fouled off. Now, I asked Joe Girardi before the game about Pineda and his ability to throw strike after strike for such a big man. He's 6'7", and Joe said during the time that Pineda was injured and working back from the shoulder problems, he had a chance to work on his mechanics, and he really fine-tuned them. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise that he was out with a shoulder surgery. 3-2 pitch, and that is high and away for ball 4. Let's take a look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by the all-new Kia Sorento. Gardner, Ellsbury, and Jones in the outfield. Headley, Gregorius, Drew, Teixeira round out the infield. And John Ryan Murphy doing the catching for Michael Pineda. So DeJesus draws a leadoff walk, a rarity in itself with Pineda on the mound. And here's Steven Souza Jr., the Rays right fielder. Couple of home runs and hitting .250. 2 for 8 in this series. Yankees are up 1-0. 1 on, nobody out for the Rays. Pitch is high for ball 1.
You know, this is kind of a big start for Pineda. We mentioned he got his first win the last time out, and there was a lot of good news out of that ball game. Did not walk anybody, struck out 9 and picked up a win, but he also gave up 5 earned runs in just over 6 innings. So he got beat up a little bit more than we saw in spring training. See if he can rebound and get back to that dominant form.
Pitch is fouled back to the screen. He also gave up 4 extra base hits, and it's the first time he did it since his debut. Today's high-speed pitch comes from Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better. 92 miles an hour on that last pitch. So 4 extra base hits in his last start against the Orioles. As you said, Flash got roughed up a little bit, but did come away with a victory. Those 9 strikeouts, he had at least 1 in every inning. Another throw over the first to check on DeJesus. Breaking ball hits the corner. Ball and 2 strikes on Souza Jr. Rays expecting big things from him. There's the first-year manager Kevin Cash, and you saw his bench coach Tom Foley flashing some signs. Ball is hit high in the air to left field. Gardner going back at the wall, looks up. This one's gone. A home run. Steven Souza Jr. showing some of that power, and the Rays are now in front by a score of 2-1. So 2 batters and 2 runs for the Rays. Home run number 3 on the season for Steven Souza Jr.
Well, Friday night we talked about the power of Souza Jr. Hit an absolute bomb up in Toronto, and this ball, he's out in front a little bit, gets some good backspin. He knows he might have enough. Brett Gardner up against the wall, does not have a play. 2-run home run. Rays take an early lead. Slider middle and middle down and in. Pineda just begging that it stays in, and it will not.
Asdrubal Cabrera takes a pitch outside for a ball, so I don't think he got all of that, Flash. I really don't think he hit it all that well, and it still went in the seats.
Now, if you're Pineda or John Ryan Murphy behind the plate, you don't like the way the slider acted, though. It kind of spun and backed up and ended up down and into a right-handed hitter. Slider usually a dominant pitch against righties. Not there.
That is Rays starter Chris Archer talking with Souza Jr. Cabrera 1 for his last 25. Hits a ground ball off of Pineda. It's going to be a tough play. The flip is not in time. An infield single for Asdrubal Cabrera, and he's aboard with a hit.
Oh, what a tough start for Pineda. Walks the leadoff batter, which he usually never walks anybody. Gives up a 2-run home run, and then a shot right back. Gets a piece up and tries to finish up the play. It's just going to be a little bit too late.
You know, Flash, if this ball gets through his legs, Gregorius was standing right there. Yep. Would have had a play.
Tough play for Mark Teixeira. The flip back towards Pineda. The timing's just not there.
So still nobody out. Cabrera at first and Longoria at the plate. One for 5 in this series. Home run and 2 RBIs on the season, and the first pitch is low and away for ball 1. Longoria, and we had talked about this before, they're going to have to get some protection by him. He leads the league in walks with 9. Ball hit on the ground. Great stop at third by Headley. Goes to second for the force. No play at first. So Headley takes away an extra base hit from Evan Longoria with a headlong dive.
Well, I mentioned Longoria struggling against Pineda, and he hits this ball hard, but Headley robs him of an extra base hit. Going to his right. Nice play. Great look from behind him. Lays out. Plays to second base. Able to get Cabrera by a step.
I like the way he was patient. You know, he popped up quickly but made the accurate throw to second. Here's Desmond Jennings. Looking for his first hit of the series and takes a strike. He's 0 for 7. Jennings hit well over 400 in spring training, but you can see he's rolling around on the interstates here. I-95 to be exact. That's in there for a strike. Last two sliders a little bit better.
A little more tilt away from the righties.
Ground ball towards third, maybe two. Headley to Drew to Teixeira, not in time. Jennings is too fast. Longoria's a race, and they're now 2 down.
Headley really took his time making sure that he gives Drew a good feed at second. Drew does the best that he can. He had a pretty decent throw across there. You're right, Kenny. Jennings is a little bit too quick. Good feed right on the money.
And Jennings across the back. So 2 outs, a man at first. Jennings is definitely a stolen base threat over there. Alan Dykstra will be at the plate. And he'll take a breaking ball for a call strike. Dykstra 2 for 20. One of those two is first major league home run. That came on Friday night. A 3-run homer off the foul pole in right field. And his dad was in attendance.
And if you think back to that home run, it was a mistake down and in. You expect the Yankees to stay away from him.
A ball and a strike on the big first baseman.
He has some power, but it definitely looks like he likes the ball in and he likes it down. If you can stay away, you like your chances.
Jennings with a false start at first does not go, and the pitch is outside for ball 2. Looks like he's trying to measure Pineda.
Jennings 4 stolen bases on the year, has been thrown out once, and John Ryan Murphy coming off a couple of impressive throws in Baltimore. Good matchup.
And I believe he got Adam Jones and Alejandro De Aza. Jennings is going. The pitch is a strike. The throw to second is a strike. And Jennings is out. John Ryan Murphy with a laser to second base. But the Rays take the lead on a 2-run homer by Steven Souza Jr. Verizon Fios, the fastest, most reliable internet. You you can see the Yankees after today's game headed to Detroit. 4-game series. All those games will be on yes against the Detroit Tigers, who have gotten off to a great start. Then the Mets will be at Yankee Stadium, followed by these Tampa Bay Rays before the Yankees hit the road again. Stephen Drew will lead it off for the Yankees here in the second inning. Yankees down 2-1. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Drew's had 3 hits on the trip, a double and 2 home runs. And that pitch is low for a ball. It was his big pinch hit grand slam that turned the first game around in Baltimore. Eventually the Yankees won that game. Pitch is fouled off. 2 balls and a strike. Drew, Jones, and Murphy for the Yankees. As you take a look at the Rays defensively, Matt Andriese on the mound. As Flash told you, first time he's ever pitched here at Tropicana Field. Look out inside, and it's 3 balls and a strike on Stephen Drew. Andrie's second major league start. He started on the 14th of this month at Toronto and lasted 3 2/3 innings. Had a no decision through 72 pitches in 3 2/3 innings. And that is ball 4. So Drew with a leadoff walk here in the second. Second walk of the afternoon for Matt Andriese.
I mentioned it in the scouting report. Usually a strike thrower who doesn't have a lot of velocity. Already a couple of walks in this game.
By the way, he got a no decision, but the Rays won that game in Toronto 3-2. In fact, the Rays took 3 out of 4 against the Blue Jays at Rogers Center, but promptly dropped the first 2 after returning home here to take on the Yankees. Here's Garrett Jones getting a start this afternoon. First pitch, and it's a breaking ball that's in there for a call strike.
Well, the trend for the Rays early on, they're playing well on the road and struggling here at home at Tropicana Field. I think manager Kevin Cash wants to turn around, play a little bit better in front of the home crowd.
That pitch is outside for a ball, and you can see why there might be some leeway in calling some balks on Andriese. Just the way he sets up, Flash. He's moving his hands and still moving his feet. Now once he stops with his hands, he can't move his feet, and that's what he did in the first inning when the balk was called. He had completed the movement with the hands. So just look. Right? Swing and a miss. A ball and 2 strikes on Garrett Jones.
Garrett Jones getting the start this afternoon. Chris Young hit that grand slam last night. Thought he might get another start. Joe Girardi going with the lefty. Like the matchup with the right-hander who doesn't throw as hard with the fastball. We'll see if it works out.
Ball is hit hard and in the left field for a base hit. So Jones goes the other way. He beats the ship. Drew moves to second. And the Yankees are in business again here in the second inning.
Well, we think of Garrett Jones from the left side, a guy who has some power, but that's just a nice job of hitting with a couple of strikes. This is John Ryan Murphy's throw to end that first inning, an absolute bullet. We mentioned how well he threw the ball in Baltimore. He had been struggling before that, and Gary Tuck, the catching instructor, told him there was nothing to work on. Everything was perfect. Ryan was kind of panicking about the mechanics. Gary Tuck, the catching instructor, just cleared up his head and said, "You're locked in. Just go out there and throw." And the last 3 have been perfect.
You can tell he'd been watching some old John Flaherty videos.
No, I'd want to watch that. That was sweet right there.
Swing and a miss by John Ryan Murphy, who also, as he comes to the plate, hitting an even 300. There's Gary Tuck.
You know what, Kenny? It impressed me though, because as a young player, you think it's all mechanical. Something's wrong. Let's go work on it. And Gary Tuck, the catching instructor, said mechanically you're fine. Just go out there and be aggressive and let it fly, and cleared up his head a little bit, and the rest is history.
Pitch is lined towards center field. Jennings is going to be there. Let's see. Drew's tagging up. He's not going to head for third. He'll hold on. Now we're talking about John Ryan Murphy's defense. Let's take a look back
Look at how slow that looks compared to John Ryan Murphy. What was that, Ricky Henderson?
Yeah, well, wait a minute.
Ricky.
Yeah, that's a brand name.
That throws offline. Look at the hair. Yes.
When you're throwing out Ricky Henderson, you're throwing out the absolute best, Flash. The all-time stolen base leader.
You know, before that, throwing him out, he had stolen like 4 bases off of me in the beginning of the series. And when he came to the plate that time, I said, Ricky, you are the best. I played with Ricky in San Diego. I said, you're the best, man. I can't throw you out. You got me. And I got in his head. Able to throw him out the next time.
Now, wait a minute. You think he's trying to make you feel better? Ricky said, I can afford to be thrown out every once in a while.
No. He gave me his best shot.
All right.
So he's got me. I probably 1 out of 10 times was able to throw him out.
Gregorius takes a pitch for a call strike. Trying to get going with the bat. He's got an opportunity here to at least tie the ball game. That is low and away, and it's 1-1 on the Yankee shortstop. Steven Drew at second. Garrett Jones at first with 1 out. John Ryan Murphy hit that ball on the nose.
It's getting to the point now with Didi. He needs a little confidence knock right here. Sitting at about 150. Hadn't gotten off to a great start.
Little bouncer right back to Andrews. He goes to shortstop for 1, and on the first, it's a double play. So a 1-6-3 double play, and that'll do it for the Yankees. They leave a man on, and they trail 2-1. Here on Pix 11, it's the Subway Series, Saturday at 4 p.m. only on New York's home for baseball. Pix 11 should be exciting. First pitch is pop foul and out of play by Dykstra, who was at the plate when Desmond Jennings was tossed out by John Ryan Murphy. They end the bottom of the first. Dykstra 2 for 20. That pitch is in the dirt. It's a ball and a strike on the first baseman. He'll be followed by Geyer and Beckham.
If you're John Ryan Murphy behind the plate, you're paying attention to Dykstra. You really haven't seen a whole lot about him. He dives into the plate big time. Sorry, Kenny, looking for that ball out over the plate and trying to hook it. We talked about the 3-run home run. Anything middle in that catches some plate, he's dangerous. You can definitely move him off the plate in. Trying to do that right here.
Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. You can tell he's been in the weight room. You see those guns, Flash? It's big arms.
Big boy.
Yeah.
These are the guys that made me nervous, Kenny, because you didn't really know a whole lot about them, and obviously one swing in the bat could make the difference.
Swing and a miss. That made a difference. First strikeout from Michael Pineda. Fans, New York Yankee baseball is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. Pineda's first strikeout of the afternoon brings up the left field to Brandon Guyer. You know, fans might be wondering where Kevin Kiermaier is. He's been sick, flu-like symptoms. He's out of the lineup. He's been one of the best Rays players in the early going. And Guyer has taken his place the last two nights. First pitch high inside, ball one. And you just saw Dykstra at the plate. He was called up when James Loney went on the DL with a rib cage problem. The 1-0 pitch. And it's a high fly ball to right field for Garrett Jones. Took one step back, now comes in, and he makes the catch for out number 2.
There must be something going around Kenny. Carlos Beltran, right? Not feeling 100%.
Yep, he's not in the lineup today. Joe Girardi saying he hopes to be back. Hope he has Beltran back tomorrow in Detroit. As we take a panoramic view of Tropicana Field. Here's Tim Beckham, second baseman. 2 home runs on the season, both pinch hit home runs. And he'll take the first pitch upstairs for ball 1. So far in the game, Pineda has not thrown all that many first pitch strikes. He's been a little erratic. That's usually not him. He's usually honed in on the strike zone. Has a strikeout and a walk so far today.
Pretty good pitch right there. Didn't get the call.
Wow.
David Rackley behind the plate. John Ryan Murphy brings it back to the strike zone. Doesn't get the call.
Swing and a miss by Beckham.
Let's see if Pineda can get back on track here in the second. Have a clean 1-2-3 inning after a rough first.
Two outs, nobody on for the Rays here in the second. That was the same pitch as the other one. This one is called a strike, and it's 2-2. You know, both pitchers and hitters are looking for consistency with the umpires. They can make the adjustments during the game if the umpires call a low strike. You'll just go for it as a hitter. Pitcher, you'll try and keep it down there. 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground and through in the left field for a base hit. So Beckham has himself a base hit that's not a pinch hit. And he's on with 2 outs here in the second inning.
Everything that at bat to Beckham was away. The fastball cuts away, and then he goes with a slider. And again, the slider not great. Kind of just spins up in the zone. So up above, you can see Beckham just gets his hands out, drills it into left field. Slider, he's not happy with it. Location, trying to get it down.
Number 9 hitter is the catcher, Rene Rivera, who is 0 for his last 7. And it's blown away for ball 1. The Rays come into today's game. They've lost 2 in a row to the Yankees and are 6-6 on the season. Ground ball is short for Gregorius. He goes to Drew for the force, and that'll do it for the Rays here in the second. They do not score. At the end of 2, it's 2-1 Tampa Bay. TriStateFord.com. Good news for the Angels fans. Garrett Richards, a big-time right-handed pitcher, activated from the disabled list. The Mets, a 7-game winning streak. And Yunel Escobar, former Ray, strained groin, day-to-day for the Washington Nationals.
New York Mets have gotten off to a hot start.
Yeah.
A lot of expectations over at Citi Field. And an early Subway Series for the Yankees and the Mets this year next weekend. Rays lead 2-1 against the Yankees. Back to the top of the lineup, Jacoby Ellsbury, Brett Gardner, and Alex Rodriguez. Second time through for the Yankees against Matt Andrees. Ellsbury first pitch swinging right back up the middle. He's 2 for 2 with a couple of base hits. Big turn around first base. Good start for the Yankees here in the third.
Yeah, Ellsbury had 2 hits last night. First 2 times up here today. That's his 8th hit on the road trip.
Bring up Brett Gardner, taking a look at third base coach Joe Espada about the signs. Brett laid down a perfect bunt, a sacrifice bunt in the first inning to advance Ellsbury. The Yankees manufactured a run to take an early lead. Ellsbury, a couple of stolen bases already. 2 has been thrown out 1 time.
You go back to opening day, and Brett Gardner hit the first home run of the season for the Yankees. The Yankees have homered in every game but 2 so far, and they're tied for the league lead with the Baltimore Orioles in the power department.
See what the Yankees do here, Kenny. In spring training is so exciting to think about. Ellsbury leading off, Gardner hitting second. You can hit and run. Straight steal for Ellsbury. Obviously Gardner can bunt. Put a lot of pressure on some defenses in the American League and all around baseball and interleague play. Ellsbury is running. The fake bunt and the throw by Rivera, and a good one gets Jacoby Ellsbury. Thrown out for the second time this year. We've seen some good throws from both catchers this afternoon.
Ellsbury looked to be that he got a decent jump, but the throw is right there, and there's the tag by Cabrera. Yeah, he steps right into it. Quick release. And Ellsbury caught for the second time this year. He does have 2 steals. He was caught only 5 times all of last year.
Brett Gardner lines one into right center field. Souza Jr. comes up with it, keeps him to a single. The back-to-back base hits for the Yankees. Think about Rivera behind the plate, struggling offensively, but a great throw to get Ellsbury stealing, helping his club behind the plate. A loud reaction here at Tropicana Field for Alex Rodriguez. Had a good at bat his first plate appearance and walked. DHing and batting third. Rays shifting him to pull in the infield.
Rivera caught that like he was crossed up. Let's take a look. He's looking for slider, and he gets a fastball.
When we talked in the scouting report, Andrees will cut it, he will sink it. And you wonder maybe, Kenny, if he was looking for a sinker and got a cutter, or the other way around. That ball's hammered into left field by Alex Rodriguez. Brett Gardner around second. He will advance the third, and Alex Rodriguez cruising into second base, continuing his hot hitting.
Now let's see where the location is. The pitch is right down Broadway. And A-Rod doesn't miss it. I guess here in St. Petersburg, right down Central Avenue. And A-Rod rips it into the corner. The Yankees have runners at second and third and 1 out.
That'll bring up Mark Teixeira hitting cleanup. Sacrifice fly, his first at bat to get the Yankees on the board, and another great situation right here. Second and third, one out. Infield playing back. That's exactly what a cleanup hitter wants to see, Kenny. Those RBI opportunities early in the ball game. Sacrifice fly was a hard hit ball to right field, his first at bat.
You know, what you also like is that you have a speedy runner like Gardner at third, so you know even if you hit a fly ball, it doesn't have to be all that deep for him to score.
Teixeira in the driver's seat ahead in the count 2-0. First base open. See if Andriese comes right at him or maybe tries to pick at the corners. Chase Headley waiting on deck. Called strike, looked like a changeup on the outside corner. It'll be a 2-1 from Andriese. Misses away.
You can almost tell he's being very careful here. And you know, if I'm Teixeira, the count's 3-1 here. 2-0, he threw a changeup. It might be worth just to say this is going to be something off speed.
Well, with Andriese, you could sit soft. You can look off speed. The fastball's not overpowering. Hit to the right side. It'll be a ground ball. We'll score a run. So again, another job. Good job by Mark Teixeira. Situational hitting. We're all tied up 2-2.
Teixeira's driven in both runs. One in the first and now one here in the third inning.
So 2 down will bring up Chase Headley. Struck out his first at bat. Alex Rodriguez advancing the third on the ground ball.
These are the at-bats. And the Yankees have been doing fairly well in these situations lately. 2-out hits. They drive in runs.
Now this is an at-bat, Kenny. I look out there for Headley. Rays are playing him to pull in the infield. Longoria, the only infielder on the left side. Right back up the middle. Off the glove of Cabrera, and it's going to be a base hit, an RBI, and a 2-out RBI.
Is that what you were talking about?
Just thinking up the middle a little bit and give yourself up a little bit. Try to drive in that run.
Well, the Yankees are going to take the lead as Headley goes with it. Ball was sinking away, and he just strokes it back through the middle. Cabrera is able to get a glove on it, but can't flag it down completely. And Headley has himself a run batted in. The Yankees have themselves a lead. That's their fourth hit of the inning.
I just thought that combination, when you have a pitcher who's not overpowering with the fastball, and you don't have to worry about it so much, you can just fight him off the other way. Good piece of hitting. We'll bring up Stephen Drew with 2 outs.
Take a look at that last stroke that delivered a run for the Yankees. Headley, pitch is sinking away, and he just says, I can go right back through the middle. Thank you very much. His 6th run batted into the year.
Stephen Drew behind in the count 0-2. Drew a walk his first plate appearance. Batting average not quite where he wants it to be, but 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. So the Yankees fight back here in the top of the third. Have scored 2 already to retake the lead. An 0-2 pitch to Stephen Drew. Ball gets away from Rivera, not far enough for Headley to advance.
Checking Headley's stolen base numbers over the years, he's had as many as 17 in a season. So it's not, you can't fall asleep on him over there at first base.
When you look out to the second base, also the way the Rays are shifting, you wonder who would cover second base on a steal. Probably Cabrera. This ball slapped. Andrews makes the play over to first base to complete the top of the third, but the Yankees fight back, get a couple of runs, and they take the lead 3-2. New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by Time Warner Cable. Enjoy more shows on more screens. Time Warner Cable, enjoy better. Beautiful day at the beach.
It's peaceful.
Tampa Bay area.
Something about palm trees, Flash.
Well, the Yankees enjoying the weather here, also enjoying a couple of days in the Trop. Couple of wins already ahead in the game right now, 3-2. Back for the bottom of the third. Top of the lineup for the Rays. Michael Pineda gets ahead quickly. David DeJesus.
See if Pineda can come back with a shutdown inning after the Yankees give him the lead.
Pineda, rough first inning. Walked DeJesus to lead off the game. 2-run home run from Steven Souza Jr. Try to settle down here in the third. Kenny, on Friday night we talked about the Yankees have to have a good series here in Tampa, going to Detroit, red hot Tigers. So far so good, trying to come out of here with a sweep. Already taken the series, winning the first two.
And tomorrow night it'll be CC Sabathia against Alfredo Simon.
1-2 from Pineda, fouled off. The Yankees will go from some beautiful weather here in Tampa Bay to Detroit. And you were nice enough to remind me I forgot to bring a jacket for Detroit.
You know, that's Flash, you're a veteran enough to know that there's a big difference between St. Petersburg, Florida, and Detroit, Michigan in April.
Sounds like tomorrow's going to be about 60, not so bad.
Yeah. You should survive that one. But how about after that?
Well, I might find a little maybe shop in Birmingham. Pick up a little light jacket. It's a rookie mistake, and I admit it, Kenny. Ground ball to the right side. Teixeira comes up with it cleanly.
Let me know how that goes for you.
We'll bring up the right fielder. Steven Souza Jr. hit his 3rd home run. 2-run shot. A couple of rows deep in left field.
The Rays have had a rough going of it, Flash, early in the season, just keeping people healthy. You have 10 players on the disabled list. You got 10 rookies on the team, including Steven Souza Jr.
Well, the Rays playing .500 baseball to this point with all of those injuries. Alex Cobb on the DL. Smiley looks like he's ready to come back soon. Loney.
Colomé. Just decimated by injuries in the early going here.
The 0-1 is Souza Jr. hits it hard, just out of the reach of Gregorius. A couple of hits for Souza Jr.
Yeah, we didn't even mention Matt Moore or Jake McGee. Two valued members of the pitching staff.
Well, a good start for a young team and also a young manager is imperative here in Tampa, because I think everybody kind of agrees that they'll probably be at the bottom of the division. They're trying to prove a lot of people wrong here. We talked about Souza Jr. and his power. He can steal some bags too. Has stolen 4 already on the year. Pineda's going to pay attention. Cabrera had an infield base hit in the 1st inning against Pineda.
Souza Jr. has a big lead over there at first base.
Not running. Change up for strike 1.
Usually a decent lead is when you get to where the cutout is, but he is beyond that. Now he's a tall guy, so maybe he can just feel that he can one step and a dive and get back to the bag.
Cabrera has that batting average up over 200 now. Another throw over from Pineda. The Rays get a little early action in their bullpen. Steve Gelt's up.
Another rookie.
The 0-1 hit hard. Drew lays out for a nice play over to Gregorius. Not going to be able to turn the double play. Good play by Stephen Drew.
That was a rocket off the bat of Cabrera. Drew lays out, gets the ball to Gregorius, and the 360, that takes a little time, and he can't turn the double play, but still impressive. And what's very impressive is the reception by Mark Teixeira on this throw in the dirt. Spiked by Gregorius, and that was not an easy get.
The Yankees showing some good defense here early on in this one. Chase Headley made a nice play on Longoria, his first at bat. Stephen Drew, nice play there. John Ryan Murphy, a good throw. Longoria first pitch swinging, fouls off a good fastball. Longoria now 0 for 12 against Michael Pineda in his career. Struck out 4 times in those 12 at bats. Pineda starting to show the changeup a little bit more here in the 3rd inning.
That turns him into a 3-pitch pitcher. Very effective, particularly against left-handers.
Fastball misses inside. .50 pitches already for Pineda. Longoria ahead in the count, 2-1. This one hit the center field. Ellsbury and back right in front of the warning track. Looks like he's going to make the play easily. Michael Pineda gets through 3 innings with the lead, 3-2. Yankees will have Garrett Jones leading off. Hey, you never know. Inside Tropicana Field, back for the top of the 4th. The Yankees leading 3-2. 6 hits already for the Yankees. It'll be 7, 8, 9. Garrett Jones, John Ryan Murphy, and Didi Gregorius. Jones, a base hit, his first at bat, going the other way. It'll be the 50th pitch for Matt Andrews coming. It's going to be a strike on the outside corner.
You know, today's start by Matt Andrews is his 6th start this season, which the Rays have sent a rookie to the mound. That's more than any other team.
Jones right back up the middle in front of Jennings, and it's going to get by him. This will be extra bases. Jones around first, into second. He's going to go to third, and he will make it easily standing up. So an aggressive play by Desmond Jennings in center field. Is not able to come up with it.
Be interesting to see how they score this. I got to give him a triple. I mean, the guy tried to make a shoestring catch and missed it. And Jones is going to head all the way to third. First of all, line drive, sinking liner to center. Jennings thinks he has it, but he does not. That is a very bad feeling for an outfielder. Making your teammate chase it down. It's Steven Souza Jr. near the wall in center field. And by the time he corrals it, Garrett Jones is on his way to third base. And it's going to force the Rays to bring the infield in.
Infield in for John Ryan Murphy. Ball one in off the plate. Murphy hit a ball hard his first at bat.
I got to give him a triple. And it is a triple.
Strike on the outside corner. Rays bring the infield in. Murphy hits his ball to center field, and he hits it well. Jennings cruising back right in front of the warning track. It'll be a sacrifice fly for John Ryan Murphy. And the Yankees add another run. They now lead 4-2.
So John Ryan Murphy with his first run batted in of the season. A couple of sacrifice flies. Situational hitting for the Yankees today.
Just thinking that, Kenny, Friday night it was Alex Rodriguez and the power display that he put on. This afternoon, situational hitting. Mark Teixeira a couple of times. Right there, John Ryan Murphy, a good at bat, RBI. The Yankees adding on. And last night they just poured it on. 9 runs, some power, some situational hitting.
Yankees with a triple last night for Brian McCann.
Just another catcher. Lining up those triples, Kenny.
You know what? He did have a triple last year. It came at Yankee Stadium on June 18th off of Brett Cecil, the Toronto Blue Jays. So I like what he said after the game. 1 a year.
Can't lead the league in doubles if you hit triples.
And then that made me look up this morning the major league record for triples in a season. I knew what it was, but I had to refresh my memory. Chief Wilson of the 1912 Pittsburgh Pirates had 36 triples in 1 year.
Wow. We'll bring in Meredith Marakovitz, who has a little bit more on that triple by Brian McCann.
Well, guys, it's interesting, Kenny, you brought up the fact that he had a triple last year, but prior to that, he did not have a triple since 2009. And Brian McCann was asked about it after the game. Then he just smiled and said, hey, when you have speed, you have speed. You're going to find yourself on third. And the guys on the team oftentimes get on Brian McCann a little bit because he's maybe not the fastest guy on the team. And Brett Gardner, usually one that makes sure Brian McCann knows it.
Thank you, Meredith. I think Brian has to thank Souza Jr. for the route that he took on that triple last night. Went all the way back to the wall, bounced off the wall back into the field of play, and gave Brian a little bit more time.
Well, up until Garrett Jones's triple, Brian McCann had the only triple on the team. So
bragging rights.
They're darn right.
The 1-2 on D.D. Gregorius. This was that triple last night.
You know, the way I used to get triples, outfielders had to fall down and run into each other. And this is kind of falls into that category. Ball hits. Where's the second baseman? He wasn't out there to follow up. There was no help whatsoever. That flash, by the way, I was talking to Meredith between innings. She's got 3 coats and a scarf for Detroit.
That'll look good on me. I could borrow one of them, Meredith. What do you think?
Most certainly, Flash. I have a leather coat. I have a green bubble coat. I have an oxblood colored coat, about 5 scarves, and a couple hats. They're all yours.
I want the green bubble coat. This looks like it's going to be an infield base hit for D.D. Gregorius.
The green bubble coat?
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Well, it's more of a down coat, but you know what I mean.
So I'm thinking right away. Meredith, how many years you been in the big leagues now? 4 seasons with us.
4 seasons. This is the 4th season.
And Flash, how many years you been in the big leagues now?
This will be 24. Now the Rays are going to make a little pitching change right here. Steve Geltz, the Audi call to the bullpen, will be brought in by the Rays. Brought to you by Audi, Truth and Engineering. We'll be right back. Talk about my jackets in Detroit. So it'll be Steve Geltz against Jacoby Ellsbury back to the top of the lineup for the New York Yankees. Gregorius taking his lead off of first base, picking up an infield hit. Indeed, he really needed that, Kenny. Double play his first at bat.
Yeah, just to feel good about yourself. Reintroduce yourself to Tony Pena, the first base coach. We saw Geltz on Friday night, pitched a perfect 9th inning.
1 to Ellsbury. Check swing. Balk and Bob Davidson said he went. Jacoby quickly behind in the count, 0-2.
Maybe a bit too far, certainly for Bob Davidson's vantage point.
Jacoby having a good afternoon, 2 for 2, batting average over 300.
You don't want to stray too far away from first base with Rene Rivera catching. He's been known to fire him down to first and attempt to pick off runners. Good defensive catcher.
Gregorius has 1 stolen base on the year. Has been thrown out once. Is not running a looping line drive. Beckham picks it up to second base to Cabrera. Not going to be able to complete the double play.
Gregorius is kind of caught in no man's land. He wasn't sure if Beckham was going to catch that ball on the fly. Ellsbury gets jammed. And Gregorius, should I stay or should I go? It's a clash of opinion right there, but he is going to head to second base where he's going to be forced out.
So 2 down, Ellsbury on first to bring up Brett Gardner. He's also having a good afternoon. Sacrifice bunt, a base hit, scored a run. See what Ellsbury's thinking here with 2 outs. He got thrown out trying to steal earlier. Good throw by Rene Rivera behind the plate.
We saw that video of you throwing out Ricky Henderson before, and Ricky was kind of sitting there kind of dumbfounded. But Ricky's advice to people, guys who are base stealers, you get thrown out, just keep going.
Just keep going.
Just get back up on that horse and ride.
Ellsbury not running. Kenny, I can speak from experience. When you have a base stealer that is going to be aggressive, it puts all the pressure on you, and you feel it behind the plate. Start to rush some throws.
Ellsbury 39 steals last year, second in the league to Jose Altuve, but only got caught 5 times.
I always thought this situation right here with 2 outs, if you're Ellsbury and you steal, you're in second base, great. You're in scoring position. If not, Brett Gardner leads off the 5th inning.
And if you're Gardner at the plate, look for the heat. You're probably going to get a fastball. There it is.
It is. Well, looks like they're changing it up now.
Sometimes they go back.
There it is. Back to that original fastball away. Ellsbury not running.
And the reason why they go all the way around the circuit and get back to the same side, they don't want to fall into a pattern for the hitter. Just thinking up, fastball number 1. Here it comes. But when you're a hitter up there and you're thinking he's taking a long time for this sign, they're just going back to the first one.
Thought it might have been a foul ball, but it gets away from Rivera, so it'll be either a wild pitch or a pass ball. Jacoby Ellsbury ends up in scoring position.
Well, let's see if this hits the dirt. Yeah, it's going to be a wild pitch. At least I think so. Yep, it's a wild pitch. Rivera looking for it, but by the time he finds it, Ellsbury's in scoring position at second base.
We saw Chase Headley with a 2-out base hit. Picked up an RBI with Brett Gardner trying to do the same thing here in the 4th. Geltz steps off. Yankees leading 4-2. 8 hits for the Yankees already in this one. Be a 2-2 to Brett Gardner. Big swing and a miss on the inside corner. So Geltz comes in, gets a job done, but the Yankees add one more and a couple of hits. They lead 4-2.
Two as we head to the bottom of the fourth. It's time for the Tri-Honda Tour of the Stadium. This tour of Tropicana Field is brought to you by your Tri-State Honda dealer. The Rays Touch Tank is the first of its kind at a professional sports venue, and that tank is 10,000 gallons, 35 feet, and free to all fans that want to visit it. And you see a lot of kids off and around there. You can actually touch the Rays, and if you want to go the extra mile, you can feed them. There's Rays food available out there. Now, a cool aspect of that is that those Rays were actually found in the waters of Tampa Bay, and every time a Rays player hits a ball in there during a game, $5,000 is donated to charity by the organization. $2,500 of it goes to the Florida Aquarium, and then the other $2,500 goes to the charity of choice for the Rays player that manages to get it in the tank.
Good stuff, Meredith.
Wow.
That Ray tank was a big attraction for some of the Flaherty kids when we were here, Kenny. They'd spend a lot of time out there.
What do you think about nowadays? Would they be out there now?
No, they'd be on their phones in one of the seats. Jennings picks up a base hit to lead off the bottom of the fourth.
Priorities. And that's the fifth hit for the Rays of Michael Pineda. That's Jennings' first hit of the series. He's been struggling somewhat lately. 0 for 8.
We'll bring up Alan Dykstra. Struck out his first at bat. There's a swing and a miss. Alan, no relation to Lenny Dykstra, played for the New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies. Lenny's two boys who are in baseball are Cutter and Luke. Cutter with the Nationals and Luke with the Braves. Another big swing and a miss. James Loney, the regular first baseman for the Rays, working his way back from the disabled list. He strained an oblique, I believe.
Yeah, he was out here early today running the bases, so trying to keep those legs in shape.
The 0-2 fastball misses inside.
I'm sure the Yankees don't miss him because he usually does some damage against the Yankees.
Big loss for the Rays, too. We always talk about Longoria being the face of the franchise and the threat in the middle of the order. James Loney, a quality hitter. Desmond Jennings has 4 stolen bases, was thrown out for the 2nd time by John Ryan Murphy. And that first inning, not running here. And Dykstra, another big swing and a miss, struck out for the 2nd time. Follow the New York Yankees all season in 2015 with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment and at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replays, reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or your tablet today. One down and bring up Brandon Guyer. Flew out to right field, his first at bat. Game reminds me a little bit of that Baltimore game for Michael Pineda. Kenny, kind of limiting the damage, but not quite 100% on top of his game.
No, certainly he was great in spring training. What, 23 strikeouts and 1 walk in spring training, just strike after strike.
9 strikeouts in Baltimore, only 2 this afternoon, both to Dykstra.
You know, one thing they say though, Flash, if you're going to become a pitcher of any status, you're going to have to be able to win games when you don't have your best stuff, when you can just piece it together and get the job done.
Remember Mike Mussina telling me, what, if you get 32 starts, there goes Jennings, is on the move. Guyer pops it up. Be in foul territory. Mark Teixeira settling underneath it. It's an easy play for the 2nd out. But Mike would always say, you know, there are probably about 5 or 6 times you go out there and you got your great stuff and it's going to be easy. And then probably another 15 where you're average stuff, and then the rest you have nothing. Can you find a way to get through it?
If you could win half the nothing starts,
it's a good year.
Yeah.
2 down will bring up Tim Beckham. A base hit his first at bat on a slider that kind of rolled up in the zone. .61 pitches for Pineda, so the pitch count not too bad here with 2 outs in the 4th. Be a 1-0 to Beckham. Big swing and a miss. Yankees lead 4-2. 8 hits for the Yankees, 5 for the Rays. Been a clean game defensively for both clubs. Jennings taking his lead. Not running.
Yeah, when you're talking about Mike Mussina, get your opinion. I think he should be a Hall of Famer. With 270 wins, pitched in the American League East in the height of the steroid era.
I think the further we get away from his career, you start to appreciate it just a little bit more. And some of the numbers you're talking about, American League East, steroid era.
I think he's more than 100 games over 500. ...20-game winner in his last year.
What made Mike Mussina so interesting, facing him and then having the chance to catch him in New York. Go out there one time and be a power pitcher. 95, here it is. I got good stuff. And then the other time he comes out and it's finesse. Breaking ball, slider, changeup. The 3-1. Jennings is running. Fastball for a strike. Throw by Ryan Murphy. A little bit high. Desmond Jennings, who got thrown out earlier in this ball game, picks up his 5th stolen base.
Well, the difference was right at the tail end of this play. He gets a decent jump, but John Ryan Murphy, if the throw is down, he's got him. But could see Stephen Drew had to get up and couldn't get back down in time. Pitches a strike to the hitter. Yep, the throw was in time. It just was a little elevated. And that enables Jennings to go in on the bottom floor.
Well, you watch John Ryan Murphy. He gets to that throwing position so quickly. Quick feet, quick transfer. The 3-2 to Beckham. Fastball up in the zone, blows it right by him. Third strikeout for Michael Pineda. We'll be back for the 5th inning, and due up, leading off, Alex Rodriguez has a walk and a double. We'll see what he does for his 3rd at bat. April 28th for one of the hottest collectibles of the season. It's Masahiro Tanaka bobblehead night, the first one in the 2015 collectible series presented by AT&T for the first 18,000 guests in attendance. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849.
On to the 5th inning, and there's a look at the bobblehead that those fans will be receiving. Is that the splitter? Whatever it was last night, it was working for Masahiro. Alex Rodriguez takes next pitch low, and the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. A-Rod has walked, doubled, and scored a run, his 3rd double of the year. He'll be followed by Mark Teixeira and Chase Headley here in the 5th inning. Yankees lead it 4-2. And that pitch just missed, and it's 3 balls and no strikes.
April 28th, Tanaka bobblehead day. It's also Lynn Flaherty's birthday.
Wow, you have to get her a bobblehead.
Putting it on, I think just pick up a bobblehead, say happy birthday, honey.
And that's it, huh?
All set.
A 4-pitch walk to Alex Rodriguez, starting it off here in the 5th inning. And that'll bring up Mark Teixeira, who has a couple of runs batted in. Drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in the 1st inning. Then drove in another run with a ground out in the 3rd.
Before the season, a lot of talk about Alex Rodriguez, how pitchers would pitch to him, and just the fact that his name and his reputation, they would be careful. Now it's legitimate. A couple of walks. Opposing pitchers really pitching carefully to Alex.
I'll tell you what, the thing that surprised me about Alex, I mean, he's showing the bat speed that he had 20 years ago. And if that's the case, it makes me wonder why he would get into.
Why would you would ever do it?
Yeah, why would you ever do it? I mean, he's going to be 40 years old in a couple of months. That pitch is in there for a called strike.
But you know what? A lot of people have talked about Alex and kind of a changed attitude and humbled a little bit. But his quote about this hot start, to me, was perfect. Anybody could be hot for the first, 10, 12 games. It's what you do during the course of this long season.
Yeah.
That's how he's going to be judged.
That's how they added up at the end of the year.
Yep.
A ball and 2 strikes now to Teixeira as he rolls 1 foul.
But for a guy who always seemed to say the wrong thing a lot of times, this year he seems to be saying all the right things.
Wow. So far, the Yankees have been the beneficiaries. Off to a hot start. On the ground to first, Dykstra bobbles it. Steps on the bag for the out. A-Rod moves to second. Looked like it came up and hit Dykstra in the chin. And that ended any chance of a double play.
So we get a great look here from behind Dykstra, and he's thinking about double play. If he comes up with it cleanly, he does not. Rolls right up his chest, and he's going to take the easy play at first.
Here's a better look at. Ooh, yeah. So Alex Rodriguez at second. Chase Headley is the hitter who has a single and run batted in. That came in the third inning, and he takes one outside for a ball. Headley also struck out swinging to end the first inning. Matt Andrews started for the Rays, went 3 1/3, 4 runs, 8 hits, a strikeout, 2 walks. Another rookie, Steve Jeltz, comes in to follow. He deals. This ball is lined down the right field line. It's a fair ball. This ball's headed for the corner. Alex Rodriguez is headed for the plate. Headley has his second run batted in of the day, and the Yankees now lead 5-2.
Well, a couple RBIs on the afternoon for Headley. First at bat, he just stayed back, blocked it off, and went the other way. Here he gets an off-speed pitch, little slider middle, and it speeds up his bat. He just hammers it into right field. Alex Rodriguez will score easily. Headley cruises into second base with a double. Yankees doing a great job with runners in scoring position today.
So Headley now at second. Yankees have tacked on another run, and will bring up Stephen Drew, who's walked and grounded out. Outside for ball 1 to Drew. So Alex Rodriguez has scored a pair of runs today. He scored a pair of runs last night. Swing and a miss by Drew, and the count levels at a ball and a strike. By the way, that 2-base hit for Headley, that's his first double of the season. That's his first extra base hit that was not a home run. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 1-2. The Yankees have pounded out 9 hits, and we're in the 4th inning. Or make that 5th inning. Only seems like the 4th. Two balls and 2 strikes. They've had at least 1 hit in every inning so far. Joe Girardi was talking about before the game how the bats have been going pretty good lately. All is fouled off. Drew spoils that one.
I think you like all the at bats. Obviously, the runners in scoring position, the big hits, but the situational hitting has been quality. Brett Gardner laying down a sacrifice bunt. Seen a little bit of everything today from the Yankees on the offensive side.
As you might expect, most of the questions during Joe Girardi's pregame press conference were about Masahiro Tanaka's performance last night. And you heard Brian McCann, and Joe kind of echoed what McCann had to say. He could do anything he wanted last night. Fastball was crisp. That pitch is low. Count is full, 3-2.
Well, I think the best thing you can say about Tanaka last night, he looked like the Tanaka from last year in the first half.
Exactly.
A lot of the strikeouts, he would start you off soft, maybe slider, curveball, split, and then blow you away with the fastball, and that's what he looked like last night.
Didn't walk a batter, 8 strikeouts. Ball is hit high and deep, but this one's twisting foul and out of play. Beckham. Here's a look at Tanaka from last night, Flash.
Yeah, and like Brian McCann said, he had it all going. But really, the fastball and the location, kind of what jumps out at you, had a little bit more life than we've seen early on. That's a beautiful pitch right there, dotted on the outside corner.
Well, he did say, I'm still building arm strength, and that's true for just about all starters. 3-2 pitch coming up to Stephen Drew, and he pounds this one foul. Well, hit a catwalk, did it? This is going to be a foul ball. Now, the other night, we had a foul ball going that same direction and stayed up in the catwalk.
Now, so here's the question. It hits a catwalk in foul territory, so it's ruled a foul ball. But if somebody catches it when it comes back, would that be an out? Like I said, I played here for 5 years, and they change these rules all the time.
Like every day? It's
now it's a dead ball.
Yeah.
It just got to the point they said when it goes up there and bounces around, try to catch it.
I remember hitting a speaker at the Kingdome in Seattle. The ball was going out of the park, and it ended up with a double. Fans, this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. We ended up losing that game by 1 run. Earl Weaver went off on the Kingdome. Called it a joke. Pitch has popped up once again, and this is going to be out of play. And it's funny because I got a double. There was a runner on first. He only got the third because we were all coasting. We thought the ball was out of the park. And the pitcher was Dave Roberts. I remember left-hander. He turned and looked at me and says, "You missed me."
Great place to hit the Kingdome.
Yeah, it was. There's Brandon Gomes. And he's warming up. Once again, the 3-2 pitch, and it's fouled back again by Stephen Drew. He's hanging in there. He's making Geltz work.
A good battle right here. Geltz and his fastball coming right at Drew, and Drew fouling him off. Who's going to win?
Yankees have 1 run in here on 1 hit in the 5th inning. The Yankees have scored in 3 consecutive innings and 4 of the 5. Pitch is fouled back again by Stephen Drew.
Off speed, 79 miles an hour. Good job by Drew to stay back a little bit, foul it off. I always feel like the advantage goes to the hitter with each foul ball. You're seeing pitch after pitch.
Pitcher's got to make a mistake eventually. Yep. There's the mistake. It's ball 4. Drew is aboard. Second walk of the inning handed out by Geltz. And the Yankees have 2 on and 1 out. And to bring up Garrett Jones, has had himself a good afternoon. He's 2 for 2 with a single and a triple and a run scored.
Number 33.
And here comes Jim Hickey, the pitching coach. And he's going to talk it over with Geltz and also give Gomes a little bit more time to warm up in the bullpen down the right field line.
Kenny, I mentioned earlier I thought that maybe Young would get a start today after hitting that grand slam in the 7th last night. Joe Girardi liked this matchup with Jones. 2 for 2, base hit and a triple.
Plus, I think, and we talked about it a little bit, you got to get everybody going in the early season, and day game after night game, give Young a little bit of a rest and give Garrett Jones an opportunity to make a contribution. Of course, you talked about Chris Young, grand slam home run last night.
3 home runs already this year.
Yeah. See, but other than Brian McCann, Garrett Jones is the only Yankee with a triple. And he got that today. Two on, 1 out. Jones at the plate, 2 for 2. Solid single and a triple. Breaking ball, drops in for a call strike. The Yankees are trying to complete a 3-game sweep here at Tropicana Field. Outside for a ball, and it's 1-1. The last time that happened, 2005.
Also trying to get to 500 for Joe Girardi's club.
That's another thing that Joe mentioned in his press conference today. Ball is drilled down the right field line, but it is foul. Out in front of a breaking ball. Ball and 2 strikes on Garrett Jones.
I talked about this in spring training when I saw Garrett Jones. It's such a simple swing. Does not have a lot of movement to get ready. Kind of a National League guy who got plenty of pinch hitting appearances. You learn how to simplify your swing when you go up there. Not a lot of movement. That foot down right to the baseball.
One-two pitch hit on the ground towards second. Cabrera, the shortstop, has it. The shift was on, and he throws out Garrett Jones, but the runners move up. And we're going to get a pitching change as Kevin Cash will come to the mound. But look at this, Flash. Nobody to cover second on this ground ball.
Yeah, you have the shift. If it was a traditional setup defensively, it's a routine 4-6-3. Nobody's at second.
Fans, this call to the bullpen is brought to you by Audi. Truth in engineering. John Ryan Murphy in to face the new Ray pitcher. That will be Brandon Gomes, just called up from the minor leagues today. In case you missed it, following last night's ball game, the veteran Grant Balfour was designated for assignment by the Rays. Let go. He had a rough outing. Little roller down to third base line. It's going to be a tough play, and it's going to be a foul ball. The ball just turned foul at the very end, about the 89-foot mark.
No, just a good read by Longoria. See, he's playing back right off the end of the bat. He charges it thinking he's going to make a play. Takes a big bounce initially. Just foul, so good judgment by the veteran third baseman.
That would have been a base hit, another run for the Yankees. And John Ryan Murphy does have a run batted in today. He had a sacrifice fly last inning. Second and third, 2 outs. Yankees have a run in here in the 5th and lead it 5-2. That ball is low. Good stop by Rivera. Count as ball and 2 strikes.
And John Ryan Murphy having a pretty good day. He's thrown a runner out. You see the numbers at Durham. 3.38 for Gomes. Murphy's also hit the ball hard 2 times. Line drive to center field and the sac fly you talked about, Kenny.
Spoils that one. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. It's been kind of a rough spring for Grant Balfour. He had to return to his native Australia. His father eventually passing away from cancer. Then he flew back, missed a lot of time in spring training. And listen to some of his quotes. I was listening to the postgame show on radio last night. He said that his arm felt good. It's just fastball not as fast at this point. The 1-2 pitch. Another roller. This one's foul.
Well, we know that finances are always a big deal here in Tampa Bay with the Rays.
Yeah.
And, you know, they ate a lot of money on that contract.
$7 million. So he's out there for the picking from another club, and all the other club have to pay as a minimum, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right.
And the Rays have to pick up the rest. Off the end of the bat is slivered. That bat boy's right on top of it. I mean, John Ryan Murphy had taken about 3 steps and he had another bat in his hand.
We've seen a bunch of breaking balls. This looks like something off speed inside, maybe a changeup, a little too quick off the end of the bat.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Chase the high fastball, but the Yankees do pick up a run on a hit. They leave a couple of runners. They now lead 5-2. Flash, that's an awful lot of energy at 5 a.m. isn't it, Flash?
It sure is.
Michael Pineda now into his 5th inning of work. He has a 5-2 lead. He'll face the number 9 hitter, Rene Rivera, David DeJesus, the leadoff man, then Steven Souza Jr. First pitch, call, strike 1. Rivera forced a runner. He's 0 for 1. Pineda so far has allowed 2 runs on 5 hits. Sweeping breaking ball misses outside. It's 1-1.
Kenny, when I look down at the field here at Tropicana, it's a little different look down there at third base. Tom Foley moving from third base to the bench coach, and that's Charlie Montoyo. 18 years as a minor league manager in the Rays organization. The last 8 years with AAA Durham. Responsible for developing a lot of the young talent. With the manager change here, he gets an opportunity to come up and be a big league coach.
That's pretty cool. Spend some time in the big leagues. It's a good reward. Swing and a miss, and Rivera's gone. 4 strikeouts now for Michael Pineda. All of them of the swinging variety.
We'll take another look at the slider. I mentioned early it hasn't been great, and that's really not his best either. Kind of spinning up in the zone. He gets away with it.
Pineda's had 19 strikeouts so far this season. Only one of them has been on a called third strike. Back to the top of the order, and David DeJesus, who's walked and scored and grounded to first unassisted. Lines one over Headley and into left field for a base hit. So DeJesus on with 1 out. He has been the best Rays hitter in the early going this season.
Yeah, you wonder how long he's going to be here. I mean, a veteran guy from the left side who can really hit. We'll see how the Rays season goes and see if they'll keep him on the trading block. Out over the plate, good extension, just hammers it the other way.
Mentioned a veteran. He's got 94 career home runs, right? 4 of them are inside the park homers. He might be the leader in the clubhouse as far as that's concerned. Sure. Here's Steven Souza Jr. hit a 2-run homer. Just made it into the front row in left field in the first inning. Good swing, fouls it back, strike 1. He's also had a single. He's got a third of the Rays hits this afternoon.
Watching Souza Jr. for a couple of days now, you're impressed with his overall game. He has the power that we talked about, a 2-run home run here. I only knew him as the guy who made a great defensive play to end a no-hitter in Washington, and you watch him play now. He's got some tools.
Ground ball hit hard and by Headley. This was going to go down towards the corner. David DeJesus has gotten to third. He's being waved home, and he will score. And it's now a 5-3 ball game. Steven Souza Jr. with his 3rd hit of the afternoon. Now just a triple away from the cycle.
Charlie Montoyo waving DeJesus all the way around. Talked about Souza and his overall game. Change up in, and he keeps it fair. Out of the reach of Headley. You're right, Kenny. A 2-run home run, a base hit, now a double, just a triple short of the cycle, and the Rays add on another run.
2nd double of the year for Souza.
Charlie Montoyo coming all the way down the line, waving DeJesus around.
So now the Rays with 3 runs on 7 hits. And here's Asdrubal Cabrera. He's single, then forced the runner. And he'll take a pitch downstairs for ball 1. 2-time All-Star with the Cleveland Indians. And now just 17 hits away from 1,000 for his career.
Pretty good place to hit in the lineup, right in front of Evan Longoria.
That will even the count at 1-1.
Good pitch right there. Fastball on the outside corner. First base open, but you'd expect Pineda and John Ryan Murphy to go right at Cabrera. Longoria waiting on deck. You have a 2-run lead.
On the ground, the second for Stephen Drew. And he gets it to Teixeira for the 2nd out of the inning. On the play, Souza Jr. marches over to 3rd. So that'll bring up Longoria. He, like Cabrera, 17 hits away from 1,000 for his career. Today he's forced a runner and flied out to fairly deep center field. Open stance, hands held high over his head, and first pitch misses for ball one.
I mentioned earlier in the keys to the game for Michael Pineda would to keep dominating Evan Longoria. 0 for 11 coming in. He's now 0 for 2, so that's 0 for 13.
He can save himself a run here if he can get him out. There's the call strike, 1-1. David Brackley shoots out the right hand. Up to 92 with the fastball, but it's upstairs for a ball.
Yeah, a little something extra right there for Michael Pineda, knowing this is a big at bat, a big spot with a 2-run lead.
Three balls and a strike. I think you wonder if he's pitching around him to get to Desmond Jennings. Jennings has hit the ball hard today both times.
You have the luxury here though, Kenny, to be careful. Make a pitcher's pitch. Treat it like it's an 0-2 count. Jennings on deck.
Pitch is on the way and he goes to the hook and it's in there for a strike. 3-2. You could tell Longoria was looking for something else. He didn't even move when that ball jumped over the plate for a strike. The payoff pitch. Hammered towards third on the backhand. Headley, the long throw, scooped by Teixeira, and that saves a run. Well, the Rays do pick up a run here in the 5th inning. We played 5 complete innings. This long throw is going to get him, and it's a 5-3 game. Engineering. On to the 6th inning. The Yankees leading 5-3. Brandon Gomes just called up today. On in relief, the 3rd Rays pitcher will be facing Didi Gregorius. First pitch is in the dirt and it's ball 1. Gregorius is wrapped into a double play and also had a base hit. So he's 1 for 2. Next hit, the Yankees will reach double figures. They've got 9 through 5 innings. Gregorius, Ellsbury, and Gardner for the Yankees here in the 6th. Hit hard, and there's hit number 10 for the Yankees. Gregorius with his 2nd hit of the afternoon. It's a leadoff single here in the 6th inning.
10 for the Yankees, but 2nd for Gregorius, and he needs this. He needs to get going a little bit, gain some confidence. An infield hit his last at bat. Then he rifles this one into right field. So back-to-back at bats, 2 hits in a row. See if he can get himself going.
Well, he's got this inning going, and Jacoby Ellsbury has had a nice day. 2 for 3. He has scored a run. That came back in the 1st inning. Foul tipped into the glove of Rivera for strike 1. Ellsbury's average just under 300 at 298. So this is one of the, I like to call him a key at bat. Because early going, your average can go up and down very quickly. Base hit here would put him back over the 300 mark. Ball is fouled back, and the count is 0-2. Plus those 3-hit days, they don't come around. You know, no, they just don't fall out of trees. Let's put it that way.
I'm sure Jacoby thinking too. I'm probably going to have 2 more at bats. Could have a big afternoon.
Went 2 for 5 here last night. The 0-2 pitch, and he spoils that one. Off-speed pitch, just got a piece of it.
Gomes has a good changeup. He really jumps to home plate. Just gives the illusion that he's going to throw a fastball to the hitter, and then he just drops about 8 miles an hour off of his fastball. Good changeup.
He's a hit on the count. 0-2 pitch. Might have been a ball, but Ellsbury protecting, fouls it off.
He's got a little split grip, and then he changes it to the fastball.
A ball and 2 strikes. I mentioned the Yankees will be headed to Detroit after today's game. 3-city road trip. Started in Baltimore, on to Tampa Bay, and finally to the Motor City. Gomes steps off. In fact, that'll be the first game of a 4-game series with the Tigers. Sabathia and Simon. Check swing, roller, foul.
Kenny, I think the big news of that series is Paul O'Neill's actually going to do a road series.
Is that right?
He's taking his game on the road to Detroit. You don't see that every year.
You know what? Even if I'm out, I'm going to DVR that game just to make sure you're right.
Yep. Hopefully he'll make it.
Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it misses the inside corner. Count levels at 2-2.
A really good pitch right there. Gomes has been painting away splits, changeups, fastballs, and he tries to dot the fastball inside, doesn't get the call. Another look. Rivera tries to bring it back with his glove.
In the dirt. Now the count was 0-2. Now Ellsbury has eyeballed it to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see if the Yankees have Gregorius on the move here.
Great look at the grip on the split finger. Ellsbury, just like a lot of the Yankees, quality at bats today. Working it back to a full count.
Throw to first. Almost a wild throw.
That's a good thing. Alan Dykstra is a big man. High throw makes the play easily.
Runner's not going, and the pitch is hit high in the air to left field. Geyer is there, will make the catch, and there's one out. We were talking about the series in Detroit. The probable starters. We told you Sabathia and Simon. Next it's Eovaldi and Lobstein. Adam Warren will go in against David Price, and Masahiro Tanaka against Anibal Sanchez. Now there is a chance that they might give Tanaka an extra day of rest. So we'll see how that plays out. Lobstein will be the pitcher for the Tigers in the second game of that series. Here's Brett Gardner, who is 1 for 2, and he takes a heater over the outside corner for a strike.
David Price off to a good start. His contract year, free agent year this year.
Yeah. I didn't see his record there. What was it? Did you see it?
I saw the ERA was sparkling.
Okay, well. There's a strike. The throw to first is not in time, but Baxter dropped the ball.
You called it earlier, Kenny. Rivera likes to throw. Gregorius a generous lead. You see the ball come out of the glove of Dykstra a little bit higher. If it's not on the short hop, Gregorius might be in a little trouble.
0-2 to count on Gardner. Bouncing ball. Gomes has it. Goes to Cabrera. On to Dykstra. Not in time. So Gregorius goes in hard on Cabrera, who says he's okay. But Gardner's speed beats the play.
Yeah, anytime he hits a ground ball, it's going to be tough to double up. You see Gomes didn't have a lot on it. Cabrera's throw slicing up the line, and Brett Gardner just runs too well. Gregorius with the aggressive slide, clean right into the bag. Brett getting out of the box, was kind of on his front foot, so he gets a good jump out of the box and beats it.
Brett Gardner has stolen 3 bases in this series, but I don't think he's going here. Maybe if Alex Rodriguez gets a couple of strikes, then he'll go. A-Rod today, been on base 3 times. He's walked twice and doubled, scored a couple of runs. Pitch, misses, ball 1. You want A-Rod swinging with a man on here. A-Rod now 6 for 16 on this road trip. Off speed pitch, swung on and missed. 1-1. On Friday night, as Chris Martin begins to throw in the Yankee bullpen, Friday night Alex Rodriguez became the first Yankee player with lead-changing RBIs, driving in either the go-ahead or game-tying runs in 3 different plate appearances in 1 game. And that was done last June 7th, 2008, when Johnny Damon capped such a game with a 9th inning walk-off RBI single that gave the Yankees a 12-11 win over the Royals. So 3 different times A-Rod had a hit that either drove in the go-ahead run or tied the game. That was Friday night. 2-1 pitch, well outside. Another throw to first, and Gardner gets back. So right now Alex Rodriguez in the driver's seat with a count 3-1.
Slider down and away. Good throw right on the bag. Brett Gardner gets back. It'll be an interesting pitch selection right here to Alex Rodriguez. 3-1. Swinging a hot bat. They're going to go off speed. Looks like a slider.
High fly ball. Fairly deep left field. Geyer to the warning track, makes the catch. He hit it off the end of the bat. Didn't get it all. So the Yankees will leave a runner here in the top of the 6th. But they maintain a 5-3 lead. Just missed it. The Atlanta Braves are leading the Blue Jays up at Rogers Center. The Tigers keep rolling along, 9-1 in the 7th at home. And the Mets are looking for their 8th consecutive win. They're leading in the bottom of the 7th. The Orioles and the Red Sox are tied in Fenway. Pittsburgh has the lead over Milwaukee in the 6th. And Nationals getting shutout pitching. They lead the Phillies 3-0 down at Nats Park in Washington. Bottom of the 6th inning. Desmond Jennings takes a pitch for a call strike from Michael Pineda. You saw the big right-hander Chris Martin warming up in the Yankee bullpen. He's still throwing. 83 pitches for Pineda now. Breaking ball. That's in there for call. Strike 2.
And Pineda threw 98 pitches his last start against Baltimore.
The 0-2 pitch, and Jennings wouldn't chase. Maybe it's a good thing the Tigers are winning before the Yankees get to 10. Maybe it'll be time for a market correction.
Bob Lorenz sent me the numbers on David Price. 1-0 with a .40 ERA.
Ooh,
pretty good start.
Yeah.
1 earned run in 22 1/3 innings. Not bad.
Not messing around, is he? Thank you, Bob. 2-2 pitch to Jennings. That one just missed. Pineda thought he had it. Full count.
If you're Joe Girardi and Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, you'd love to get Pineda through this 6th inning because the slider, and you see it here, it's kind of backing up. It doesn't have that good sharp break.
Yeah. Checking on the phone to see if Martin is ready.
He's kind of hanging in there, Pineda. Hasn't been great this afternoon, but doing a good job.
There it is. Call strike 3. Jennings caught looking.
And he went to that 3-2 slider. John Ryan Murphy setting up middle of the plate. You just want to strike. Jennings was looking for the fastball. He gets the off-speed pitch.
That's only the 2nd called strikeout for Pineda this year. Brings up the first baseman, Alan Dykstra. He struck out twice. Just outside for ball 1. Pineda with a win today against these Rays would run his career record against Tampa Bay, the 2-1. Pitch is fouled back, and it's a ball and a strike. Big Mike has allowed just 3 runs on 7 hits. That pitch is high for a ball. 2-1 to Alan Dykstra. He'll be followed by Brandon Guyer. Ball hit hard, and Stephen Drew flags it down. From his knees, throws out Dykstra for out number 2. We see some good plays defensively by the Yankees in this game. A couple of them turned in by Stephen Drew.
Well, you're right, Kenny. Defensively, the Yankees have not been strong at the beginning of the year, but they are flashing some leather today. Chase Headley, some good plays. The second nice play by Drew, laying out. I'm impressed with how much he had on this throw, and the only question, did Mark Teixeira stay on the bag? Playing the shift, short right field. He lays out and has plenty on the throw.
The Rays are going to challenge this.
It looks like his foot's on the bag there.
Yeah, it does. Of course, camera angles can be deceptive. Let's take another look. Yeah,
he's on the bag.
He's on the bag. So that should be a 4-3 and a very well executed play by Stephen Drew and Mark Teixeira.
I fully expected that throw to bounce because he was throwing it from the ground. Basically didn't have a whole lot of leverage. He was able to come up with a strong throw.
They just showed the play on the video board here, and the fans reacted to what they seem to know now is the second out of the inning.
Kevin Cash has not been successful early on with these replays. And he's not going to be successful with this one either.
So it's 2 outs and nobody on now. And Joe Girardi is coming out. I believe that's going to be all for Michael Pineda, who works 5 2/3, allowing 3 runs on 7 hits and leaves with a 5-3 lead. We'll be right back. A walk, 5 strikeouts, 92 pitches on the afternoon for Big Mike, and he gives away to another tall right-hander. It's going to be Chris Martin who comes on. Martin has been very impressive for the Yankees in the early going, and his numbers would dictate that, Flash.
5 1/3, only 3 hits, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts, and you love that opponent's batting average against 143.
The Yankees got Martin from Colorado back in January 15th to be exact, in exchange for cash considerations.
He's well rested. His last appearance was Wednesday in Baltimore.
Martin has shown a lively fastball and a very good breaking ball. So he comes in with 2 outs, nobody on here in the 6th inning, trying to close it out if he gets Brandon Guyer. Guyer against Pineda, fly to right and fouled out to Teixeira at first base. First pitch, strike 1 call. Martin was impressive in spring training, impressive enough to make the ball club. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Quickly jumps ahead, no balls and 2 strikes.
He's got the power fastball and then a nice little 86-mile-an-hour cutter. Looks like a fastball coming out of his hand and then just darts away.
Well ahead of the count now, 0-2. Let's see if he tries to make Guyer chase a pitch. He went right after him and just missed, 1-2.
What you like is he covers so many different speeds. This is the slider. It's about 80. Mentioned the cutter about 86, and then the power fastball will be above 90. A lot to deal with as a hitter.
Look out, he gets hit by a pitch. So got a hit on the count but couldn't finish him. As Guyer is hit by a pitch and will head to first.
Well, everything was away 3 in a row. You try to come inside and Guyer just turns right into it.
And that was a hip hugger. And it looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter for the Rays. Here is Kevin Kiermaier coming off the sick bed. He didn't start last night. Flu-like symptoms, but he's going to come up and hit now for Tim Beckham.
So Justin Wilson in the bullpen doesn't look like he's quite ready for this at bat yet.
So Kiermaier off to a pretty good start. 306, couple home runs and 4 runs batted in. Geyer at first with 2 down, and the first pitch swung on and missed, strike 1.
You like Kiermaier's attitude coming off the bench as a pinch hitter in a 2-run deficit. One swing of the bat trying to tie it up. He took a chance. He didn't get it.
He's had 1 pinch hit at bat this year, and he's 0 for 1. Count evens at a ball and a strike. Kiermaier, solid defender, covers a lot of ground in center field, has a pretty good arm as well. At one time, he was chosen as the best defensive outfielder in the Rays minor league system. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 93 miles an hour. Flash, you ever had the flu?
Yes.
Yeah, I had it a long time ago, and that's the only time I don't want to see that again. They put me in the furthest reaches of the house.
Stay away.
Yep. The 1-2 pitch fouled off. And that's the sort of thing could be a problem on a ball club, because it, has a way of making its way through the clubhouse. These guys travel together on planes. Geyer at first with 2 down. Off-speed pitch, looked like Martin slipped on the delivery, and that count will now move to 2-2.
Well, looks like Martin can overpower Kiermaier if he keeps that fastball up in the zone. A pretty good slider down right there. Kiermaier looked like he tracked it the whole way.
Fisted foul.
I love that pitch right there. It's where you want to go, up and in. Just above his hands. You can jam, or you might be able to sneak that fastball by him for a strikeout. Trying to stay away from that down and in zone that all the lefties like. If you throw a slider, make sure it's off the plate and in the dirt. If you go fastball, go up and go in.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. He got him. So the Rays leave a runner on, hitter 6. It's on to the 7th inning with the Yankees in the lead.
Leading 5-3, our game summary. Chase Headley had a nice day. 2 for 3, double, 2 RBIs. Mark Teixeira, a couple RBIs. Souza Jr., 3 for 3. He's a triple short of the cycle. 10 hits for the Yankees, 7 for the Rays.
Well, Brandon Gomes still in there for the Rays. New second baseman is Ryan Brett. He takes over as Tim Beckham was pinch hit for by Kevin Kiermaier. Here's Mark Teixeira leading it off for the Yankees here in the 7th. Swings at the first pitch, doesn't get it, strike 1. Tex today has driven in a couple of runs. He's looking for his first hit of the day. Sacrifice fly and a ground out produced runs in the 1st and the 3rd inning. And then he grounded out to first in the 5th. That pitch is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. There it is on our Pix 11 scoreboard. 5-3. The Yankees are leading. Up and in. 2 balls and a strike. Andre started, followed by Geltz, and now Gomes for the Rays. Ernesto Frieri firing up out in the bullpen. Outside, ball 3. 3-1. Leading off an inning. Look for the heat. You're open for business.
Yeah, Mark's already had a good afternoon with those couple of RBIs. Obviously would like to pick up a hit here, maybe do some damage.
That is ball 4. So a leadoff walk for Teixeira here in the 7th inning. That is the 5th. Make that 6th. The Yankees have had the leadoff man on in every inning today. So the Rays have been opening the door. Here's Headley, 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. Fakes a bunt, takes a pitch high for ball 1. Let's see. Ellsbury singled in the 1st. Drew walked in the 2nd to get it going. Ellsbury singled in the 3rd. Jones tripled in the 4th. A-Rod walked in the 5th. Gregorius singled in the 6th, and now Teixeira has walked in the 7th. All leadoff hitters. That pitch is outside for a ball. That's kind of asking for trouble, isn't it? If you're the Rays. Two balls and no strikes on Headley. Line drive, foul into the Rays bullpen. Nice stop.
Kenny, you mentioned early on in the season you have a couple of good at bats back to back, and that batting average jumps. Headley now hitting .244.
And he started the day at .214.
Good swing right there. Just a little bit quick on that fastball.
Foul that one back. Had a good swing at it. 2-2. Stephen Drew is on deck. Off speed pitch. Got him. He swings and misses. And there's the first out here in the 7th inning.
That's that split finger after a fastball beat him just a little bit. Chase a little bit out in front.
Second baseman, Stephen Drew.
Drew's walked a couple of times, also grounded out. 0 for 1. Yankees are a tough matchup for the Rays right now because the Rays only have one left-handed pitcher, C.J. Riefenhauser, and the Yankees have 7 batters in the lineup today who are capable of hitting left-handed. A ball and a strike on Stephen Drew. And Riefenhauser worked here last night and got roughed up a little bit. Drew fouls it off. Ball at 2 strikes.
Well, we've seen Stephen Drew in this position before today, behind in the count. Some good at bats, worked a couple of walks, having a strong game defensively.
In the air to left field for Geyer. Came in a few steps, now retreats, makes the catch for out number 2. And if the Yankees can hold on and win this one, well, we're going to have a pitching change right here. It'll prove to be somewhat of a tonic as they move on to Detroit. So Kevin Cash goes to the bullpen, and Friere will be coming in. We'll be right back. Closer for the Angels, and so far off to somewhat of a slow start. He's given up 6 hits. 3 of them have been home runs, including a rocket to Alex Rodriguez the other night. Garrett Jones had a couple of hits today, a single and a triple. Had a good swing of the first one, fouls it back. Jones also grounded out, so he's 2 for 3. So Jones up there with 2 outs, and Teixeira at first. And the count is now on 2 after the swing and a miss. The Rays are not holding Teixeira on at first. First baseman Dykstra a couple of steps behind him. Now he's going to hold him on. And that pitch is outside for a ball. Maybe the feeling is that once Jones got 2 strikes, Teixeira was more apt to take off with a pretty good jump. So that's why they're going to hold him. A 1-2 pitch. Little roller to the left side. Going to be a tough play. Cabrera on the backhand has no play, and it's going to be an infield single for Garrett Jones, his 3rd hit of the afternoon. There's a situation with a shift. Did not work.
The thing of beauty, you pitch away and you just stick your bat at it, slap it the other way. Cabrera comes up with it, but no play at second or at first. You take it into the dugout, take your 3 hits. The last one an infield hit, a big smile.
And Jones will give way to Chris Young, who is now pinch running at first base. And Young will stay in and play defensively in right field. So 2 on, 2 outs for John Ryan Murphy, who does have a run batted in today on a sac fly. He's 0 for 2 in his other at bats. And he takes the first pitch from Friere in there for a called strike. Yankees in the tack on portion of the game. They lead at 5-3. in the dirt. Good stop by Rivera, and the count is 1-1. John Ryan's hit the ball hard a couple of times today. Swing and a miss. We'll move the count to 1-2. Two outs, 2 on. Yankees up by 2 here in the 7th. Twos are wild. Count is now 2-2. It's going to stay that way after the foul ball. Yankees have had a series where they've hit well, timely hitting, pretty good pitching, good relief pitching in game 1. It's all added up to 2 wins in the first 2 games of this series. 2-2 pitch. Look out, it's inside. That'll run a count full 3-2. The runners will get a start here. Sherrill will be moving from first, Young from second, and Young from first. Gregorius is on deck. Runners go. Pitches outside for ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So Frieri has come on to give up an infield single. Now a base on balls. And there's no place to put Didi Gregorius. Who is 2 for 3 this afternoon. Hit to a double play in the 2nd inning. Singled into the 4th. Then singled again in the 6th. Ball 1, low and outside.
It was a big at bat for Gregorius right here. Obviously, a couple of hits. Confidence has probably risen a little bit. A couple RBIs out there. Give the bullpen a little bit of breathing room.
Foul off the either the catcher or the umpire, one or the other, and it's strike 1. Looks like it was the catcher, Rivera. Yankees trying to put the nail in the coffin here. Pitches pop, foul, and this is just to our left. The ball and 2 strikes now on Gregorius. Well, the cowbells are ringing. You can hear them in the background. The 1-2 pitch fouled off. When did those cowbells start? You were here at the beginning, Flash.
I don't remember them in the 5 years I was here.
It's post-Flash then. Okay. Off-speed pitch, check, swing, and he did not go. 2-2. So it looks like one of those promotions that kind of went wild, huh?
Well, back when I was here for the 5 years, we didn't have cowbells. We didn't even have fans that came out to these games, so it was awfully quiet. Let's see, Rivera's going to go over a little pitch selection right here. We've noticed some of the Rays hitters coming right at Gregorius and attacking him with the fastball. These back-to-back changeups, it looks like. I think that's doing Gregorius a favor.
You don't want to go to 3 balls and 2 strikes. because you know, you miss and it's another run. So if I'm Didi Gregorius, look for the fastball. Pitch is on the way. It is a fastball, and he doesn't get it. Swings and misses, strike 3. The Yankees leave the bases loaded. Before we go to the 7th inning stretch, we're going to stay right here. And we're going to hear God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise, remove your caps, and join Lexi Cummings as she performs God Bless America.
God bless America. Land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans.
Nissan.com. And for the Rays, David DeJesus, 1 for 2. He scored a couple of runs, but the big hitter's been Steven Souza Jr. 3 for 3 with a home run, a double, 3 runs batted in. Chris Martin still in there. He hit a batter in the 6th and then got the final out by striking out the pinch hitter Kevin Kiermaier. There's Chris Young. We mentioned he should be in right field. He is. Rene Rivera takes the first pitch for a called strike. The Yankee bullpen is warming up. That's what Rivera has done so far today. 0 for 2.
You talk about the Yankee bullpen did a great job the first game of the series on Friday night. Alex Rodriguez a big part of that win, but the Yankee bullpen, Ismael Rogers doing a great job in long relief. That game and this type of game is really the type that the Yankees have to win. Betances and Wilson getting loose. Bullpen a strength of your club. 2-run lead late, you got to protect it.
foul tipped to move the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Line drive, and it's going to go in the right field for a base hit. Chris Young will cut it off. So Rivera gets a leadoff single here in the 7th inning. And Joe Girardi's going to go to the mound. So Chris Martin will be leaving the game, and oncoming is Justin Wilson. And the Rays have counted with a pinch hitter. It's going to be Logan Forsythe to face Justin Wilson. Look at Wilson's numbers here. 5 games. Hasn't had a win or a loss. His ERA up there at 8. 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. And the ERA 8.10. But he'll face Logan Forsythe. Over the years, has done a pretty good job as a pinch hitter. Although this will be his first pinch hitting assignment of the year for Forsythe. 1 on, nobody out. The first pitch is low for a ball. A couple of home runs, including one in the opening game of this series for Forsythe. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, we saw Justin Wilson the first game of the series come in and pick up a strikeout, and he wasn't playing any games, just throwing his fastball, really attacking.
This might be a one and done for him because Dellin Betances is out in the bullpen warming up. Strike 2, hit the inside corner. Here's Betances. Justin Wilson did his college pitching at Fresno State. Look out. Did he hit him? The ball goes all the way to the backstop, and it appears that Forsythe got out of the way. So he's not hit with the pitch, but on the play, Rivera moves down to second.
You can see the frustration from Joe Girardi, and the fastball goes behind him. He scored a wild pitch. Takes the double play out of order.
Ball is popped up in the air to left field for Brett Gardner. He makes the catch, no advance by the base runner, and there's one out. So Wilson gets the pinch hitter Forsythe, and now will give way to Dellin Betances as the Yankee bullpen in play big time here in the 7th inning. Is making its 6th appearance of the year. 6 strikeouts in 5 1/3. That's good. 6 walks. Not so good. Although the other night, Flash, he looked like he did last year.
Yeah, it looks like he's starting to figure it out a little bit. Facing a guy, Steven Souza Jr. is having a big night, a triple short of the cycle. So big at bat here for Dellin Betances.
Souza homered in the first, a 2-run shot, singled in the third, and then doubled a run home in the 5th. 1 on 1 out. Rivera at second. First pitch, breaking ball, hits the outside corner for a call strike. Bullpen trying to preserve a win for Michael Pineda. Off the end of the bat, strike 2. Pineda went 5 2/3, 3 runs, 7 hits, 5 strikeouts, and a walk.
Back-to-back breaking balls for Dellin Betances, and they're both short. Look like 2 little sliders. Remember back to last year, the big power curveball that had everybody fooled.
This one goes back to the screen, and Rivera will move over to third base on the wild pitch. So he's moved up twice on wild pitches. Run from Wilson, and now 1 from Betances.
Last year was a big power curveball that was about 12-6 on a clock. This afternoon, a couple of sliders. He goes with another one, just yanks it a little bit, and John Ryan Murphy really the only play trying to backhand it. Ball way out there, tough to get your body out and block it with the chest protector, and can't come up with it.
Check swing, pitches outside, 2-2. But the Rays have a runner at third with 1 out. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He got him. Looked like an off-speed pitch.
Well, 5 in a row from Dellin Betances. Look at our pitch by pitch. Strike 1. Little slurvy type breaking ball. Another one fouled off. This one's going to be yanked down and away. Off the plate. And the last one's a good one. Down and away. Souza Jr. swings right over the top. 5 breaking balls in a row to pick up the strikeout.
So now there's 2 outs, and they'll bring up Asdrubal Cabrera. He's had a base hit in 3 trips. Ground ball. Gregorius has it. straightens up, throws, and the Rays will strand a runner at third. They pick up a hit and nothing else. At the end of 7, it's still 5-3 Yankees.
Nissan.com. Jacoby Ellsbury having a good afternoon. Chase Headley 2 for 4. Garrett Jones 3 for 4. A triple and a run. Didi Gregorius wrapping it up 2 for 4 down there in the number 9 spot. Top of the 8th. Yankees lead 5-3. 11 hits for the Yankees, 8 for the Rays. Back to the top of the order. Jacoby Ellsbury 2 for 4. Facing Ernesto Frieri. Breaking ball for strike 1. Yankees looking to get another leadoff hitter on base. Done a great job of that this afternoon. Big swing and a miss by Ellsbury. The Ellsbury, Gardner, and Alex Rodriguez here in the top of the 8th. The 0-2 from Frieri. Misses up and away. The Yankees trying to finish up the sweep of the 3-game series from the Tampa Bay Rays. Get on a plane, head to Detroit. Play the Tigers, who are playing some good baseball lately. A big swing and a miss, fouled off down in the dirt.
Yeah, Tigers are swinging the bats well. The pitching's been very good, in particular David Price, who the Yankees will see during the course of that 4-game series.
It'll be a 1-2 from Frieri.
And Jose Iglesias is back after missing a whole year with leg injuries, and I heard he's been playing spectacularly at shortstop.
We'll get a look at Cespedes in a Tiger uniform playing left field.
They got some hitters.
Tough middle lineup to navigate. Big swing and a miss from Ellsbury. So Frieri picks up a strikeout here to start the 8th.
This is second strikeout of the afternoon. He got Gregorius to end last inning and gets Ellsbury to start off here to the top of the 8th inning.
Brett Gardner, left fielder, back in the lineup. Came back yesterday or last night and back here this afternoon. 1 for 3, a single, sac bunt, scored a run. It's the first time the Yankees have not had the leadoff batter on base here this afternoon. Be 1-0 to Gardner.
You know what's interesting about these Rays games? They've played 12 games so far. In each one of the games, the team that scored first won the game. Well, the Yankees scored in the first inning today. Now the Rays did come back and take the lead, but the Yankees did score first.
Alex Rodriguez waiting on deck. Alex has a double, couple of walks, a deep drive to left field just off the end of the bat. The 1-2 to Brett Gardner. Crowd starting to get into it here at Tampa. A speed pitch misses down and away. With Alex Rodriguez on deck, you would expect a pretty good pitch to hit if you're Brett Gardner. Frieri and Rivera can't get on the same page. (3-2) to Gardner. Skied to center field. Desmond Jennings coasting underneath, and an easy play for the second out here in the 8th. Two outs to bring up Alex Rodriguez, DHing this afternoon. 324, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, has gotten off to a great start.
You saw that last number, the 457 on base percentage.
Had a good swing his last at bat, just off the end of the bat. Takes strike one. It really could not have gone any better for Alex Rodriguez. Spring training, he was productive, silenced a lot of the critics. He's gotten off to a great start here. The 1-1 Alex Rodriguez hit hard on the ground to third base. Longoria up with it, and Ernesto Frieri comes up with a 1-2-3 top of the 8th inning. The Yankees still lead 5-3. Tom today. Yankees lead 5-3, 11 hits to the 8 hits for the Rays, and a very clean game defensively for both clubs. Move on to the bottom of the 8th. Dellin Betances got the last 2 outs in the 7th. Work through the middle of the lineup here. Longoria first pitch swinging line drive right at Chase Headley.
Kind of reached out and jerked that one.
One out to bring up Desmond Jennings. Andrew Miller waiting in the bullpen for the Yankees. Jennings 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Picked up a stolen base, has also been thrown out. Big swing and a miss.
You know, there's such a time as during the course of a long season. It's sometimes how the schedule breaks and when you play a team. Now, we've talked about the fact that the Rays have 10 players on the disabled list and currently have 10 players on the roster. When some of these other players come back, some of these rookies are going back to the minors. So it might be a case where the Yankees caught these guys at the right time.
And the Rays will get their closer back, McGee, at some point, get some starting pitchers, some top end starting pitching back soon.
I think Drew Smyly today, I just read on Twitter, this might be his last rehab start. So he should be back pretty soon. He was bothered by a shoulder tendonitis earlier in spring training, had to be shut down for a while. Alex Cobb, of course, their #1 start. He was supposed to start opening day,
right?
And he had a forearm strain. Of course, Matt Moore, much in the same way. Ivan Nova coming back from Tommy John surgery. He's expected down the road.
3-2 to Jennings. Dellin Betances misses badly off the plate. There's been some good reports on Ivan Nova. Thrown to some live hitters down in Florida. Things moving in the right direction.
Of course, the Yankees will be patient. In fact, it was right here where Nova was injured. He walked off the mound. We were doing that game. And he walked off the mound and eventually had to undergo Tommy John surgery.
One down will bring up Alan Dykstra, playing first base this afternoon. 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts. See what Desmond Jennings is thinking. I already told you he stole the base this afternoon, has 5 already this year. Raised down by 2. He's not running. Good breaking ball for a strike from Betances.
If he goes, he better make it. And he's 1-1 today. He was caught stealing in the first and made it in the 4th.
Dykstra has some power, a 3-run home run the first game of the series, but quickly behind in the count, 0-2.
Flash, you're right. He kind of jumps into the delivery from the pitcher.
Got a little dive towards home plate. But the scouting report is up and in and down and away.
Here's your down and away.
And you can see even when the ball's off the plate, he continues to fall even further out over the plate.
Former #1 draft pick of the San Diego Padres.
One-two from Betances. Fouled off.
Back in the 2008 draft out of Wake Forest University, ACC player.
Fastball fouled off. the better swings that Dykstra has taken this afternoon. Fastball up, out over the plate. Things you do in the bullpen to stay busy during a long game. Esmail Rogers-Jennings is running, and a foul ball by Dykstra.
Now, I've heard they do things like they play word association games down there. Among other things.
Among other things.
Well, sounds like the phone has rung down there.
Andrew Miller picked up a save Friday night. Strike three looking, a breaking ball right on the outside corner, and Betances picks up the second out here in the eighth.
Also his second strikeout. Missed the target, but got the result. Dykstra called out on strikes. John Ryan Murphy wanted this inside, but instead it paints the outside corner.
Two down brings up Brandon Guyer. Hit by a pitch his last time. Throw over to keep Jennings in check.
He was going. He had to lean on.
You know, John Ryan Murphy saw this little flinch. See if they go fastball away. It was. Catchers sometimes will call a fastball away if they think a runner is going to be throwing it or running. It'd be an easy pitch to throw on. Guyer 0 for 2. Dellin Betances trying to work his way out of the eighth inning. Probably hand it over to Andrew Miller for the ninth. Boy, a lot of breaking balls from Dellin Betances.
Maybe that's a, doesn't quite trust his fastball yet.
Popped up. Mark Teixeira calling for it. It was a fastball at 95. Oh, nice job by Dellin Betances coming out of the bullpen. It looks like he's going to hand it over to Andrew Miller with the lead. The Yankees leading 5-3. For great offers on our most exciting lineup ever, shopchoosenissan.com. By Verizon Fios, the fastest, most reliable internet. And by Cadillac, Visit CadillacTristate.com for exception lease and finance offers.
Well, Yankee fans enjoying this ball game, and it's 5-3 Yankees. Top half of the ninth inning. New pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays will be Erasmo Ramirez, and he will get Mark Teixeira, Chase Headley, and Stephen Drew. And the first ball is bounced to first, and Dykstra will step on the bag. One down, one pitch and one out. Ramirez did make a start in Toronto, and you can see by the ERA it didn't turn out very well. 5 in the third innings thus far. He's given up 14 hits. And this will bring up Chase Headley, who's 2 for 4. Single and a double, 2 RBIs, and has struck out twice. Tries to lay down a bunt. Wanted that third hit on the afternoon.
Yeah, Headley has shown us that he will do this. He will try to lay down a bunt to beat the shift. Definitely making more of an effort to try to go the other way, and why not? Runners on base, obviously you'd like to see him swing the bat.
1 ball and 1 strike on Headley. Off speed pitch. He doesn't get it. It's 1-2. Lifted in the air to short left center field. Coming on is Geyer, and he will make the catch for out number 2. Now, if you're looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth inning, and Andrew Miller continues to warm up in the Yankee bullpen, Ryan Brett, Rene Rivera, and then the top of the order, and Logan Forsythe are scheduled to hit for the Rays. They only have 1 player left on their bench, and that's backup catcher Bobby Wilson. So those will probably be the hitters that Miller will face. 2 outs, nobody on here. Stephen Drew has walked twice, and he's 0 for 2. Takes pitch for a call strike. Three left-handed hitters up for the Yankees this inning, and the shift has not moved an inch. Hit hard right into the shift. And he's thrown out. And that'll do it for the Yankees here in the ninth inning. Andrew Miller coming on. Things better with a Bob-A-Pedic. Find out why online at mybobs.com. By Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. And by Honda. Hurry into your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2015 models. So Andrew Miller be trying to close this one out and pick up a save, and his first pitch to Ryan Brett is in there for a called strike. Brett just called up the other day, and this is what Miller has done. 3 for 3 in the save situation, and that pitch is inside. The Yankee bullpen has not given up a run. First Martin, then Wilson, Betances, and now Miller. Two balls and a strike. Betances went an inning and 2/3, picked up a couple of strikeouts with a walk. Didn't give up a hit. Ball is hit high, fairly deep to left center field. Gardner on the move, and this ball is off the wall. Ellsbury picks it up, gets it back in, and Brett has himself a double. And they're going to keep that ball.
Well, Brett gets ahead in the count and gets a fastball up, and he just hammers it.
This is his first major league hit.
His first major league hit was almost a home run. That was the only question. Off the wall, gets into second base easily, and Brett was thinking about a triple, but obviously down by 2. You have to be 100% sure. He cruises into second base. Not a bad way to get your first big league knock.
So he's at second with a leadoff double and bring up Rene Rivera. Yankees up by 2 here in the 9th inning. Rivera has a hit in 3 trips. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike. That'll even things up at 1-1.
I've seen a couple of breaking balls from Andrew Miller. He's not happy with himself. The body language not good. Looks like he's a little late. Get that hand down front a little bit. Get some better action down and in on the righties.
That was the 9th hit of the afternoon for the Rays. And their first since Tritz Martin gave up a single in the 7th. Foul tip back to the screen. A ball and 2 strikes. Long swing for Rivera.
Andrew Miller really can just concentrate on the hitter with a 2-run lead. Again, another slider, not real good, kind of just spinning up. You said it, Kenny, a long swing, but a pretty much on that breaking ball.
1-2 pitch, swung on it, missed, strike 3. A slider down and in. He swings over the top. Miller picks up his first strikeout.
Yeah, there you go. That's the adjustment he's looking for. This is the slider we're used to seeing from Andrew Miller. Devastating, down and in. You see it as a strike. By the time you commit to swing, you know it's going to be off the plate and swinging right over the top.
So 1 down. It brings up Logan Forsythe, who took over as the designated hitter for David DeJesus, who was 1 for 2. Forsythe's 0 for 1. And that pitch a little bit low for ball 1. Miller trying to close out this series and complete the sweep. There's a called strike. 1-1 fastball. I had a chance to talk to Miller the other day in Baltimore. We had a nice lengthy discussion. Very personable young man. Strike 2. Another heater, this time over the inside corner.
Forsythe just shaking his head. It was fastball away for strike 1, fastball in for strike 2. Now you have a lot of thoughts going through your head. Can he double up with a fastball? Will he go with that good slider?
Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's out number 2. Slider, unfly.
Yeah, you really can't draw it up any better. Fastball away for strike 1, fastball in for strike 2, and then the slider looks like a fastball and just disappears.
And that'll bring up the Rays' best hitter of the afternoon, Steven Souza Jr. Here's a look at that last slider.
Good matchup right here. Souza Jr. has a home run already, 3 on the year. Has plenty of power.
Rays are down to their last out. Souza's had 5 hits in this 3-game series. A weak swing and a miss, strike 1.
Souza just cheating for a fastball, trying to hit a 2-run jack. He doesn't get it. The end result, a weak swing over the slider.
That evens it up at 1-1. Now Betances struck him out last time, and he went with a breaking ball on every pitch. Miller trying to pick up his 4th save of the season. Strike 2 call. Rays down to their last strike.
Souza has struck out 18 times already on the young season. You make a pitch, he'll swing and miss. You make a mistake, a 2-run home run.
Had a discussion with David Rackley there. Those usually prove to be fruitless. Pop foul and out of play.
Andrew Miller got away with a mistake. And Souza knew it. Slider, and it just middle in. Not happy with himself or his bat.
Looks like Souza tried to cut down on his swing with 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2-2. Andrew Miller. Last year with Boston and Baltimore, great year out of the pen for both of those teams. Signed by the Yankees as a free agent. In the early going here, he's been the closer, although there has not been named between he and Betances. Swung on it, missed, strike 3, and there's your ball game. After a leadoff double, 3 consecutive strikeouts for Andrew Miller, and the Yankees sweep the Rays. Final score this afternoon, the Yankees win it 5-3, and Miller does get his 4th save of the season. So it'll be a happy flight to Detroit for the Yankees after sweeping a series here in Tampa Bay and evening their season record at 6-6.